Hello and welcome back to Walk on Roll. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host and headmaster for Dungeons and Detention, Kevin Allen. With me, as always, is my good friend and co producer, Justin Zagri, manning the show behind the scenes, our faithful director. I'm also joined by my three good friends and our players for our final episode of our program, Zachary Yaworski.
Hello and goodbye.
A little bit, yeah. Katie Katulik.
Hi, bye.
And Garrett Schwackhauser.
Aloha and
Good
aloha.
one.
I appreciate each one of you not only saying hello and greeting our wonderful fans, both on YouTube and Twitch, who are watching the show live right now, but also saying goodbye preemptively because your characters might die tonight. We don't really know what's going to happen, as is the nature of a live play tabletop role-playing game show. And as an independent production, we are the kings of not knowing how this is all going to play out. So for everyone who's been staying with us through thick and thin as we have built this show from the ground up, thank you so much for being here. And this fire is in honor of all of you. We couldn't have done the show without you.
On fire?
Not yet. We'll see how this plays out tonight.
At the
Oh,
end.
it's a metaphorical fire.
I am warming a welcoming hearth as they are participants and students, observers of all the activities that have been going down this entire time
I
at
thought it was
Haven Hearth
Hearth
School
the
of
whole
Sorcery.
Oh,
It is. It is.
See.
I understand your
welcome.
confusion, so let's recap a little bit just to make sure we're all on the same page. 10 days ago, you all met at King's Cross Station. You met each other, students from various cultures and backgrounds, a whole diverse group of wizarding peoples, where you all boarded a mysterious train to parts unknown to be the latest attendees of Haven Hearth School of Sorcery. Upon your arrival and the odd shuttles that took you from the sea into the forest, you learned that there was a lot of new students this year, not just joining you, but refugees from England after a great battle had occurred. After all, this is the end of the summer of 1998. And just a reminder, Toil and Trouble, the hot boy band, they're still topping the charts.
Yeah, they
10
are.
days later. You arrived. You met various students who have invested themselves into this new academia. You met various teachers, professors, the staff of the school who have given their wisdom and experience to this institution. You eventually, thanks to your good friend Anahit, found the Hob and got to know the lifeblood of the school that makes it run and operate so well. And through your misadventures in classes, you also started to discover new things. It began when Alex led you all underground to discover a labyrinthine foundation beneath the school, and you had your first encounter with a mystical beast, namely the cockatrice. After running into this beast a few more times, you captured it and became notable saviors to the school after becoming notable champions in curling, the oldest wizarding sport.
Ooh.
But you also grew the attention not just of your fellow students as mischief makers and badasses all around, but by the staff as possible ne'er-do-wells and troublemakers. You've caught the attention of a great many faculty member, which made your further exploits only a few days later even more nefarious. You, respectively, Alex, traveled back to the Labyrinthine where you discovered a odd film projector and the moving image of a strapping, handsome man within. The rest of you decided to go in a different direction and happened upon a lost theater underground that was housing not just 3 dragons, but various artifacts, some of which you have taken for yourself: the Black Cauldron, the Magic Staff, a helmet, and a shield. Promptly defeating the dragons, you made your way out through a magical portal through space and time into a hollow room where you were scolded by the school's guidance counselor, Mr. Phillips, whose letters all invited you to this place to begin with. Escorting you off the school grounds through the forest and into a shabby, rundown, rather mundane classroom, you met the big troublemakers before you all arrived. And one of them helped you follow a similar path to the one who was the teacher who was supposed to be keeping an eye on you, out of that room and into further parts unknown. You discovered yet another grand space buried beneath the school, that of a wizarding museum, a timeline of wizards through history and their contributions to wizard lore and culture. With your new compatriot, Charlie, who you discovered is not endowed with magical ability, you crept further into a crypt. And this is where we will start talking about last week's exploits, because you were trapped at the end of this road by a puzzle, which JJ, cleverly combining a statuette with the torch to represent the school's mascot and solve the mystery of these goldenrod iron gates, allowed you all to pass through into a very eerie, dried up mausoleum. You managed to go further, cracking the code of a more rim, passing through a mirror to the other side, where you made your way into an actual crypt, though it was decorated and outfitted with a really classy dining room table setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really
Silverware,
nice.
cutlery, dead chrysanthemums, it's all there.
I mean, the dead chrysanthemums, but you could have done without those. But the
Yeah.
cutlery, you think so?
Yes, it did. The trouble is, it's just been down there so long that it died. Not unlike the other being in that room, what Charlie named as a Bruxo, a vampire-like creature that is half dead, half alive, half bat, half man. And Paris then stepped up to cleverly combine the prop helmet she had captured with the Bruxo's neck to solve the dilemma of it having a head. And this wasn't thanks to Zach's character Alex cleverly multitasking to use his magic to pin down the Bruxo while raising himself off his broom like a total boss. And in that order, you each voted for these moments as inspiration. Paris voted for JJ, Garrett voted for Paris, and Zach voted for his own character, which was totally fitting because he was a boss. So, now that we've all caught up with what your characters have done, let's catch up with our familiars for one last familiar check. Thank you, Link. If I'm not mistaken, Paris is accompanied by Diamond in her bag through all of her battles and exploits, being covered in the bile spraying onto her from trying to rip this thing's head off with a prop helmet.
Oh, yeah.
Am I correct?
Yep.
Great. Frisket, the porcelain fox that had been given life by a group of elves, is still accompanying Alex in his daring exploits as well. Am I correct? And Garrett, your orangutan is still twiddling his thumbs upstairs outside.
I don't have an orangutan. JJ has an orangutan.
Sorry, yes. JJ's orangutan is upstairs
We
twiddling
have
his
a
thumbs,
25-pound limit in this apartment.
waiting
There's
for you
no
to return.
Way. That wouldn't even be a conversation. Yes, for JJ, the orangutan, yet unnamed, is I think we still have a little bit of a psychic link, but he's like kind of orangutan back and forth, twiddling his dexterous thumbs and giving me my space, and I'm very proud of him for that.
Yeah, no, that's a big hurdle for you all. He's doing a good job. It's just unfortunate that he's not with you because you are the only character technically down at least 1 hit point as we resume battle. So with
Oh, we
that
have.
in mind,
Oh,
we've talked about your characters, where they've come, yes.
how many hit points do I get?
Huh?
How many total hit points do I have?
Um, there's a
Oh
part of me
no.
that thought, well, it should be tied to your grit, but
Oh
that's like
no.
really low for you. So,
Yeah.
um, hey, you've only taken 1. So,
That's not an answer, but that's fine with me.
well, as we've been on this journey, I've recapped everything you guys have done. Let's recap what I've done. We've been playing Kids on Brooms, which is great for role play, not for combat. So I have been molding this as we go into a more D&D like style. So we'll see. Maybe we won't have to address that issue at all if we're lucky. Let's just hope for the best.
He's but a scratch.
It's but a
JJ
scratch.
says. So I thought. So is this Brexy? Is he dead like the waffle chain?
Well, what like
What
waffle
are you
chain?
talking about, Garrett?
Brexy, the
I'm not
sandwich waffle
familiar.
chain. Oh boy.
I'm sorry.
Proxy closed?
Sorry.
No, it didn't close.
All right.
That's a story for another day. I just don't like Brexy.
Yeah. So let's jump back in, and I'm going to remind you: you've got your familiars, you've got your initiation, and we're going to start with JJ, then Paris, then Alex, before returning back to Charlie and the Bruxo. And Alex being a total pro, JJ being a regular Einstein, and Paris being a complete badass. Each of you has been awarded inspiration once again for tonight.
Cool.
And great. So
I'll need it.
let's dive right back in, everyone. As your last spell, the bright sunlight that had cowered away the Bruxo, begins to die off so that you can then blast it with a wall of ice. Ice! There it is.
Yeah.
It was
Ice,
pinned down by
baby.
ice, where it allowed you to almost have its head chopped off by the prop helmet, and then Alex's jackhammer not move. The undead vampire forced itself back up with his concussive scream, and it's back on its feet. And as it does so, it decides to make a desperate attempt, like it did when you first encountered it, to charm you all with its shrill siren song. So I'm going to give you all a moment really quick to react to it. Get it back up on its feet. You will get like half a turn here. And I will remind you that the helmet has been dropped to the ground. Charlie was the last one seen with the shield. And it is JJ's turn.
JJ is going, as he sees the Bruxo like bring in its breath. JJ is going to cast a wall of feedback. So he's going to hold up his wand in the air and actually create a feedback noise like you get on a microphone to block out the sound of its alluring yell. So he's channeling, like he used to go see he used to go see his like little brother in school shows, and they would always have this problem. So he's channeling that moment of like sitting in the audience as the microphone goes like, and so he is like trying to remember that and bring it to the forefront of like, that like loud, concussive, disorienting noise.
Okay, I'm gonna call that a brains roll. Paris.
I'm gonna react with the fact that in my bag I have spray perfume and I have spray deodorant. I'm gonna spray them both at its mouth to make it
That's
stop.
great.
Okay, and Alex.
Alex is going to. Nothing else worked for this. Alex is going to pull out his broom. Question about my broom: is it wooden?
Yeah, it's a
Great.
nice hardwood, but yeah.
Uh, I would argue that Alex would keep a pocket knife on him because he's a young adventurer.
Yeah. We've talked about your character and how he's been very outdoorsy, like a Boy
Cool.
Scout. Yeah.
Cool. He's gonna take a step back with his broom and start whittling the edge of it.
Why would you do that to that broom? You saw, I showed you the actual broom, and it's beautiful.
It's the most
I can't believe
beautiful
you're
thing in the
carving-
world.
I
But this is a
cannot believe you're
desperate
carting
time.
into the Cadillac. Okay, desperate times.
Mhm.
All right then. No one picked up the helmet. That's totally fine. So this thing screamed, with the concussive force to get back up. So as it takes a deep breath and another one is coming out, you start to create a feedback wall. You're going to have to roll against it. You're going to have to roll flight to see if you can spray into its mouth as it takes a breath. And I guess you're rolling to see how well you can whittle. So.
How well and quickly you can whittle.
Yeah. So for you, that's going to be, I'll call it brawn, Alex. Paris, it's going to be flight to see how quickly you can react to its mouth opening. And it has a gaping maw of teeth, as we discussed. So it's not that you kind of miss your target. You just got to get to your bag quickly enough. Yeah. And JJ, it sounded like a brains roll to me.
Uh-huh.
The feedback loop.
Yes, I rolled a 10
and
plus...
I'll tell you what.
Oh, tell me. No,
I was going to tell you. All right, because this is all happening at the same time. So 3.
What's up? I rolled a 10 and then plus a 1 with my magic die. So I got an 11.
Great. Okay. Paris.
For my first roll, I was just waiting. I got a 6, which means I exploded.
Nice!
Because my flight's only 6. So my second roll is a 6. So then my third roll is a 1. So it's a 12, 13, and then plus 1, so 14.
Yes.
Because it's 6, 6, 1, and then a plus 1.
Okay.
Unless I get a plus 1 every time, I don't think so.
All right. And all right. Let's
you want to know what
this way.
Alex did?
We're gonna get to
1.
Oh, did he?
What happened
yeah, I think I just cut my finger immediately.
Your broom breaks your pocket knife.
Let's get that out of the way then.
Yeah, probably.
You cut your finger. Okay.
Oh God, and it's a vampire. What are you thinking? Oh my God.
So as that monster is inhaling, it inhales a hefty amount of, I'll let you describe all of it because it's multiple bottles, I imagine.
Well, yeah, it's a perfume, and then it's a automatic, like the spray deodorant that just keeps
Axe
going.
Body spray?
Oh, spray deodorant.
Is it Axe body spray?
It's not Axe because it's mine, but it's for girls. It's like a cotton smell. It's like a fresh thing, but it's just a constant stream.
So a lovely scented aerosol just goes right into its bulging lungs. And it doesn't like that sensation. It certainly wasn't prepared for it. So rather than try to charm you with the song, it just kind of like hacks and lets out a guttural scream. So it's not the song that's going to charm you all. Instead, it's going to do shrieks with disadvantage. Oh, that's a good thing. It's got disadvantage now. With a total of 4. But that 4 is happening into a feedback loop. So everyone, I would like you all who are in earshot, which is all of you, to do a quick grit roll with advantage. And then JJ, instead, though, I want you to tell me what your brains roll was again.
It was a 10 plus 1 for my magic die.
So good. Okay, great. Cool. Yeah, everyone tell me your grit roll.
What does with advantage mean?
Roll it twice and give me the better number.
Oh, thank God. Oh.
So excited you threw it on the ground.
Okay. I got a 7.
Great.
That's
I
my
got
best.
I exploded, so I got a 19.
Oh.
Great.
My grit blows. I got first my roll was a 2, and then it was a 3. So I got a 3 plus 1, which is 4.
Okay. So wait. Well, great. You matched then. So again, you're creating this wall of sound that you were prepared to like absorb and bring back. So it's fitting that the pressure of its concussive screen hits you, but you hold your ground because you were prepared for it. And it smacks back at this thing all the more. So it just has to beat a 4 against its own attack. Brilliant. And it does. All right. So it had its attempt at a turn, and now you all can do the same. So JJ, you have a full turn. Let's go.
I pick up the helmet
Mm-hmm.
and I shove it on top of. Oh, that's it. Okay. I shove it on top of the creature's head, but backwards. So it's just got a wall of metal in front of his face.
Love it. Make 2 rolls for me real quick. I do flight and do brawn, which should be very easy for you.
Flight. Okay, got it. Oh, I need a D8. Here we go. Flight was a 1 plus 1, which is a 2.
Okay.
And then brawn is an 11.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to use my advantage, and I'm going to re-roll my flight roll. Or my whatever.
Yes.
Inspo.
I'm so glad this is your inspired moment. Awesome. Please, I want you to do this.
That's a 6 plus 1, which makes a 7.
Okay. All right. So
like
it has. It's okay. It has. We're gonna see if it reacts to it. It doesn't know what you're doing coming at it with that thing. So you managed to get the helmet onto it. But what was your flight again? 6?
7.
7. Okay. And the brawn.
The brawn was an 11.
Yeah. Okay. So you get it on there pretty good. I'll tell you what. I'll just make certain. Yeah. Cool. I'm playing the game fairly. I'm not cushioning it for you guys. You get it on its head. It kind of takes you a moment to get it down there, which is why you're not able to back out immediately. You are still in front of it, and it's freaking out. So it's gonna do another reaction real quick, and this one you might get hit with. It's doing it blindly, so I'm gonna do disadvantage. Okay.
I have an unknown amount of hit points.
Oh, thank God! Roll grit.
Oh, yay!
Thank God, you're only in danger.
You just gotta beat a 4. What?
I got a 3 plus 1, which is a 4.
Does that beat it or does that tie it? Do you need one more? Because I will give him 1 adversity token. That's all I have right now.
I mean, it's 4 against 4. He doesn't take any damage, and you're a tough character anyway. So even if you did, like, you take it. So what happened? It goes to swipe at you, but it doesn't know where exactly you are. So it kind of just like pops its knuckles into you, so you feel it, but you're not taking any damage from it.
It's almost like a hug. He just like goes to swipe, but I'm like right there.
Yes, yeah. All right. So the trouble is you're right in front of it.
Yay.
And you're gonna have to take another turn to get out of dodge. In the meantime, Paris, it's right there. It's now blinded and a bit muted, but it's got one of your friends standing right in front of it.
And the danger is its claws. Like that's what we're fighting against right now. Is like its physicality.
That's the one that Charlie warned you about. Oh, it has several attacks, but that's one of them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Let's based on appearance stuff. Can I? If it's still something that I have in my. What if I take some? I have hair ties in my bag. Can I take the hair ties and get its thing like heavy duty, and I'll charm the hair ties so that they work like handcuffs or whatever. Like I'm tying up its hands, but they're
love
like a
that you
spell.
always go back to stuff in your bag, especially these hair ties.
But I'm adding magic to it to make sure they're heavy duty. Okay,
it's great. Right. I just love that Paris's approach is never like, oh no, and that's why I love it. I love that her character is never like, I'm just going to use magic. She's like, no, I'm going to use normal things with magic because that's who I am. Like she's proven. It's like she's proven how good she is with just straight magic and defensive magic class, and is like, I
Sure.
want a challenge all the time. So, uh, so yes, with that in mind, I need you to do. I'm gonna do the same thing. Actually, I want to see how quickly you can grab its hands or whatever. How deftly you can do this.
Okay.
So make do flight and brawn for me.
You have numbers for her to beat?
Yeah, you're right. That should be fair. I'm gonna say yeah. Okay. It is swiping. It's got disadvantage now because you blinded it. 1. Beat a 1.
Okay. Well, I got a 3, and I got a
Okay.
6, and then I got
Which
because I'm.
is
Oh, go ahead.
which is which? Which is which?
I got a 3 in. Oh well, 3 plus 1 for flight. So I got 4 for flight.
Okay.
You asked for brawn, so I got a 6 in brawn. But then because I'm also using my magic, do I get a magic roll?
Yes, you do.
Okay,
For
beautiful.
that one,
So
you do.
this is if I got a 4, I got explosion, right? I
If that's your
exploded for
brawn.
my magic, right? My magic is
Oh,
1,
for your
2,
magic
3.
die. Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, beautiful. So I exploded, and I'm gonna re-roll. I got 2, so 6 for magic.
Okay. I'm going to take this moment to talk to the chat and say hello to Lamtastic, who helped make this castle so magical. Says he just wanted to pop in because he's doing holiday shopping and express his love and gratitude for us all. I want to pass that along while he can see it.
Thank you very much, Lamtastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to die.
Cool.
This episode, we
It's
don't die.
yeah. You've all met this person. It's Paul, who was
Yeah.
at one of our background extras in the bar in Sever
We
St.
know
Promoters,
Paul.
so,
We know
yeah,
Paul.
I'm just passing it along. Okay. Anywho,
Good luck with holiday shopping.
so you managed to string all of your hair ties together like magic rings and create this chain and bind the hands together. It takes a little bit of time to get them on there as it's thrashing around, but the strength of these hair ties pull its hands in and keep it kind of trapped a bit. So it is now thrashing like so. So it's going to have disadvantage on those attacks. Great job, you guys. This is going to be fantastic. Alex, yeah,
we
you
got
cut
left
your
is the
finger,
feet.
but you didn't notice any loud sounds, so you're doing fine, I guess.
All right.
Break
Still
his
using
shins.
that.
Just
Well,
kidding.
here's my plan. I wanna go.
Christ.
I want to go Star Wars with this,
Ooh.
which we've
Oh.
established that Alex has seen.
Are you all the Jedi?
Yes, we have.
No. What I want to do is, let's see. I need a material to bind his legs, and I want to get the broom. I want to do a magic to get the broom. What are they? Bristles?
The bristles?
To elongate into a kind of a cord, a rope, and then to go around his ankles, and tie him up. This is my intention. Turn it into a kind of a tripwire. It's okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
What does that have to do with Star Wars?
The second Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's Empire Strikes Back. They wrap the cords around the AT-ATs to trip it.
Yeah.
Oh,
the very beginning.
Yeah.
God. You call them AT-ATs?
AT-ATs.
I'm trying to be succinct because I got a show to do.
Yeah, you only have so many syllables.
I'm sorry.
Right?
Sorry.
Okay.
They're called AT-ATs.
So I'm trying to magically turn into that, and then I want to see if I can whip around.
describe your approach here. In order to pull the trick off, you
Yeah.
only have to beat a 2 because it is oblivious to what is happening. It's
Okay.
focused on its head and hands right now, and
Great.
its feet are the only thing that it has like stability for. However, it is kind of tough and thrashing about, so for it to be effective, you need to
Mhm.
beat a 9.
Okay. Cool. I'm just trying to magic a spell so that I can turn it into that kind of a turn them into a chord.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the way I'm envisioning it is because they're probably thick bristles. Um, so I just want to see them.
I mean, they're not. They're
They're not.
bristles.
They're
I
but
mean,
it's. I thought you said it was a good broom.
it it is a good broom,
Shots
but part
fired.
of the feature of this broom, it's not the kind of it's so I'm looking at them.
Mhm.
The one you originally had like twisting bristles that were kind of bushy,
Mhm.
if that makes any sense, almost brambly. This
Yeah.
one is designed to be sleek and swift, so it is like the long kind of straw bristles.
Great. So I'm okay. So what I want to do is I want to like see them kind of stretch and elongate and braid as if they were becoming a rope.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do then. To pull off the spell at
Yeah.
all,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to the way that this game operates and decide how tough the spell is. This is going to be thinking about it. It's brand new. 13.
Okay, let's do it. What am I rolling?
Mm-hmm. You decide the approach. You can either hope to keep exploding with a small die. You can use your big die. If you are casting magic, you could go so far as to do this as a planned action and take the 10 with your flight since it's a broom, and
Yep.
we're just hope your magic die does the duty of getting that
That's the
last
job.
3.
That's what we're doing.
Okay.
That is exactly what we're doing.
I'm not helping. I'm just,
No,
reminding
no,
you how to
no,
play the
no. That's
game.
what we're gonna do anyhow.
Okay.
That is a. What was I looking for?
13.
Oh shit! Wait. No, that was a 13. It's a 13 exactly. Baha!
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The bristles elongate and start twisting around each other until they become strands, and the strands become coils, and the coils become ropes. And as they elongate, they start to wind their way around the legs of this thing. And it's so focused on everything else that it doesn't feel this snake-like coil creeping up around its legs and its thighs, and slowly begins to constrict. Now, at this point, I want you to make a grit roll for me, or a brawn. I'll let you decide which, to see if that tightens up and beats the 9 that it is resisting with.
That is. It's a 5.
I will assist you with 2 adversity tokens.
Oh, because you're.
Let's eat some beans!
Do you need some beans?
I do
I'm
need
eating
one more
beans.
bean. I only have one
Oh.
bean. I need a second bean.
I got so many beans
I've got
in here.
so many beans.
And I will
I've-
justify this in game by turning to Alex as I see him struggling, and I go, "You got this. You are the Terminator."
Living up to his namesake. The team name.
Okay,
These are good
Whoa.
beans.
got it.
Oh yeah, you got good beans.
It's not a great color.
Like vanilla and like some like tropical flavor. This is great. I'm in a great mood. This is gonna
I'm
work.
so happy because I think I got Sriracha and Carolina Reaper. Here we go.
You're a good friend.
Oh.
All you needed was those 2 to do it.
Yep,
That's enough?
this is my
Okay, perfect.
loyalty token. Oh,
Perfect.
this is all bad news. It started in bad news. This is like 2020 bad news. This is horrible.
As JJ reacts to the hands of this thing that were kind of slashing around him, starting to bind together, and ropes that were coiling around all the legs in the area, which included his, he struggles and is like, oh, bad news, and topples out from the grasp of this thing just in time for everything to come together and this thing to be bound with its hands, to be bound with its feet, and to be deaf, blind, and dumb on its head. It has no choice but to use its last appendices as it transforms into its true form. Just as Charlie is speaking up to warn you about it, and wings, leathery bat wings, sprout from behind its back, and fur begins to stick out from all the papery skin on its body. The good news here is that Paris is no longer afraid of this thing because it no longer looks human. It is a giant man bat that rises up from the ground. However, it can't attack you in any way or form. Its legs are just dangling there. All it can really do is try to fly at you. So let's see how well this goes. It is its best stat, but it can't see or hear where it's going. So it's definitely rolling with disadvantage. It's just trying to plow into you guys at this point. Oh, wow, it rolled twin 13s. So everyone, this thing is barreling in your general direction wildly. So roll flight to see if you can evade it. You're trying to beat 13.
Advantage because I'm on the ground?
Sure, but that means you're prone. Is that what you're saying?
Because you said I fell over.
I wasn't gonna actually put you prone. You just kind of stumble out of there. I was just trying to justify your beans, ruining your day.
I'll be prone. I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll try to do
and you get disadvantage, but that means you can't really go any places on your next turn.
That's fine. Where am I gonna go?
All right. So Paris and Alex, what do we got?
5 + 1, so I got a 6.
Oh, I forgot about my. Oh no, I did. I got 11.
Shoot.
Okay.
I got a 6, and then with advantage, I got a 6. So I got a 6 + 1, which is a 7.
All right. Then everyone roll grit to see if you take a tumble and fall back, because this thing knocks into each one of you, or at least the surprise change happening in front of you throws everybody off their game. Okay. This is amazing. So Paris was hit by the beast the hardest, but she kind of does this tuck and roll, and then it hits the ground with all the grace of a former gymnast perhaps, and springs right back to her feet, no problem.
Xenon Warrior Princess.
Yep.
Everybody else missed that sound. She just did the great Xena Warrior Princess yell. But
I did that last time too. Well, whatever. You guys get it.
Man. It was good.
Double for that later.
JJ attempts to sit up and avoid this thing, but its feet knock him in the face, and he's back prone again. And meanwhile, Alex, I'm sorry, what'd you roll?
I had 2.
A 2.
Probably went the worst for me.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna give you damage.
Oh no! I got damage.
There has to be consequences. Yeah.
Have you re-rolled yet?
This is not worth it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right.
Health
I just don't know how
doesn't mean
damage you
anything.
can get. I don't know.
You take a point of damage because he smacks you in the spot in the head where your broom hit you, and now it's just a sore spot that's kind of all right, this is starting to bug me. But it's just wildly flying in the air around you aimlessly and has no real idea where you all are. So, JJ, you're on the ground. You can't move from where you are. You can get back to your feet, but it's your turn.
Yeah. There are pillars in this room, right?
Mm-hmm.
I point my wand at a pillar, and I whisper something into my wand, and I make it appear, my voice come out of the pillar. So my spell is to throw my voice so that the pillar is talking.
I love that.
And
Okay.
I wanted to say, quick, everybody, come to me. So that's what I want the pillar to say.
Okay. I would like you to roll whatever stat you feel this is appropriate, because I could attribute it to any of them. And you just gotta beat like 4. Just go for 4.
I'm gonna attribute it to like JJ did a lot with like geology and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
His mom was into crystals, so like the idea of like resonating stone is something that he gets. So I'm gonna do a brains roll for it.
Okay. Do a brains for 4.
And I get to use my wand die as well, which is super exciting. It's a 6 on my brains plus 1, so it is a 7.
Now I'm rolling to see if it can hear you, which it has disadvantage. So it doesn't hear it. Like immediately. I mean, if you want to keep this going, by all means, but it doesn't immediately react to it.
Can I boost it?
Because you deafened it.
I deafened it? Oh, with my feedback.
You put a helmet on. Yeah, the helmet. You put the helmet on its head so it can't hear.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what, it doesn't immediately react, but you notice that. I'll let you do a bonus action of getting to boost it. So add on to this, like assist yourself essentially.
So again, I think what I'm going to do is focus onto like one of the rock concerts I went to with like my dad. I think we went and saw a cover band of Creedence Clearwater Revival, and I'm just trying to remember like that, you know, one of the opening song, the opening guitar chord of CCR, and like use that volume.
All right. However you want to. This feels like charm to me because you're trying to recall a sensation that you felt.
That's great. I like charm. So I was gonna say grit, and my grit sucks. 7 plus 1 plus 1, so 9.
9. Okay. On its turn we will get to that, but remember 9 for me. Paris.
Okay, so you said now this thing has body hair everywhere, it's got its wings, all that stuff. I'm not afraid of it anymore. I'm gonna use, I'm gonna conjure up and use the bleach that I have, but I'm gonna speed up the bleach process so it like completely damages its skin by throwing it on there because it's covered all the fur, right? But I want to use the magic by speeding up that process. So I just like, it'll like kill it, hopefully.
Vicious.
You're gonna give it an acid burn?
Yeah. Because it'll maybe make it to stop flying.
Dear God.
So you're throwing actual bleach on it, or what? Yes, go on.
Yeah, well, so it basically drenching it in bleach, but then using my magic to speed up that process. Of
Understood.
Like, you know, so that way you don't have to wait like 30 minutes for it to start to burn. It's gonna burn.
What's your and?
Instantly.
What is your and?
Oh, well, so if I'm able to do this, I'll tell you this after. Well, you tell me what
if you're able to do it. So
yeah.
I would like you to. You're throwing bleach on it. I guess it's just a fight roll.
Yeah, but speeding up. Okay, cool.
And you are aiming to beat. Let's see if it notices this. 1.
Okay, well.
This disadvantage is helping really well.
Okay, so wow, fight's only a 2, but it's magic because I'm trying to speed it up. That's a 3. However, I am trained in brains, which is specifically for appearances.
You are trained in transfiguration. It doesn't matter if it's brains or strength or whatever, as long as it's related to change magic that changes the appearance of something.
Right. Is that what I'm doing?
I think you're mixing it up with alchemy again.
Well, all I have written here is trained in brains and appearance, like the aesthetics. So I thought because I'm changing like the hair color of his fur by speeding up the bleaching process.
You're doing it with a product and not with magic.
Okay, I thought I was speeding it up with magic, right? Wasn't I using magic to speed it up?
What it sounds like you're describing to me is that you are casting a spell on the bleach to make it more potent. So it's not changing the appearance of the bleach, but you're using the bleach to change his appearance. I
Okay.
think this is really cool, though.
Okay.
So,
well, then
again,
so
what
it's a
did you...
5.
You roll... Okay, that beats a 1, so you hit it.
Yeah.
I would now like you to roll on behalf of the bleach. This is... I want
I
you
don't
to
know.
roll...
This is great.
Sorry, this is amazing. You were trying to speed it up.
Yeah, acid
So,
burns, baby.
Yeah.
This
Instead of...
poor
okay,
vampire.
hold on. Roll flight for me on behalf of the bleach. Yeah. Just
You
let
put
me know on a
It's
scale of 1 to
it's a
20.
3.
Okay. No, this is stupid. Sorry. That's not inappropriate. This is so unique. Katie, I love it.
Maybe it's something like, have you ever been, like, has Paris ever had a moment where she used bleach in her hair and it, like, burned her scalp?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I mean it happens all the time.
For the spell to work, I need you to hit a 7. I just don't know what stat to attribute it to. So it makes sense to me. But whatever. Yeah, tell me your experience here.
Well,
Sorry. I had
no, it's
I had
okay.
a moment there. I'm trying to using the rules of the thing, it's a 7 to make the spell work.
Okay. To speed it up, to speed up
Yeah,
the process.
To speed up the you hit it with the bleach. So it's gonna take damage, but to make it happen now, roll at least a 7 for something.
Okay, well I have to sweet talk the bleach into speeding up the process, you know?
Sure, why not? Let's go for it.
Come on, baby! You got this! Here you are. Okay, come on.
I think for this to work, I need to hear some of the things you're going to say to this bleach.
Well, only if it works.
I'll give you advantage.
Did I need a 7?
What did you roll? Yes.
Oh my gosh, sweetie. We just gotta speed up. Just go a little faster. Please go a little faster. Go faster for mommy. Come on. Burn his skin. There you go. I was a 7. If I need adversity,
Okay.
I've got 1 token, but I think I'm okay.
And now, in turn, you can make it harder if you want. It's going to roll against your bleach. It has to beat a 7.
Oh, that was funny.
It does not. It takes damage.
That was so
Job.
Yes.
Okay. So it starts to like as it's wildly flying and it's flying aimlessly, not wildly, but now it's starting to go, oh man, it has like nowhere is comfortable. It can't do anything about it. It's just kind of like spinning and writhing in air, just keeping itself aloft with its wings because it knows if it hits the ground, you all are gonna get it again. So, Alex.
Can I kind of want to take stock of the room again. Can I get I just kind of look around for a moment to get my bearings back because I just hit my head. What can you describe the room one more time?
Are you using your intuition?
I actually do have a token, so yeah, I will use that. Sure.
Okay. Ah!
This looks innocuous.
An innocuous bean. That's a great
Wow.
band name.
This one's not terrible.
Cream
I think
sugar.
it's a pepper, but it's been like maybe it's not pepper. It could be one of the gross beans. I have no idea. Oh yeah, it tastes like a gross vegetable. Okay. Sorry. You are standing in a rather large room that doesn't really have any features. There are stone floors, and every so often there are big pillars that jut out at the top to bear the weight of the building upon it. But it's a lot of heavy stone. And it's not terribly tall of a room. This thing flying around, it's really just getting its feet off the ground because it has no other form of mobility. It's not like it's above you. So in this like JJ could easily reach up and touch the top of this room.
Okay.
The only items that you notice in this space, because it's mostly dirt and wood slats from the floorboards above you, are pillars going down the length of this room, a larger one in the just off of the center of the room.
Okay.
There, back where you came in against the wall, is again a rather ornate dining room setup where probably 8 people are able to be seated with chargers and plates and salad plates, cups and saucers, champagne flutes, wine glasses, water glasses, chairs all piled into a corner, which is where Charlie's hanging out as he's trying to bust them to maybe make a steak with. It's not going well. There's silverware on yellowed napkins that match the tablecloth. There's also chrysanthemums in the middle of this thing. They are all dead, but because you asked for intuition, you maybe have heard at some point in your outdoorsy life that, oh goodness me, I've lost. How do you spell chrysanthemum? Chrysanthemums
C-H-R-Y.
Thank you. I went for CR because I can't spell this weird word. It's an ornamental plant prized for its colorful autumnal flowers and the power of spiritual protection. It guards the threshold between immortal life and... Take that information as you will. The last thing you notice as this thing is moving around the room and you are trying to keep your eyes on it is in the dead center of the room, you see 2 circles, one on the stone floor, one on the wooden ceiling above. Each has a pentagram with various symbols strewn throughout. You have the idea that these 2 things match. However, it's hard to tell because they have been scarred and faded with time and claws. They have been broken apart through weathering and the sharp force of this beast.
Okay. I think I'm actually gonna take note of that. How is it far? The top bottom symbology?
They're mirroring each other.
Yeah. But
So
how far are
to
they?
answer
Like from where I am?
Oh, from where you are?
Yeah.
I mean, not very. You can easily run over to it. It's not like you have to run 60 feet or anything.
Cool. I'm gonna get over to it, and I'm gonna see if I can kind of fill in the blanks to like complete the drawings. You know?
Between the 2 of them, you probably could find a way to do that.
Like magically, just kind of like draw it back in. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you make your way over. You're speedy, so I'm not even going to bother with a flight roll, and it's really not that far. It's a big open space that you all have room to play in, but it's not like you're on a foot. I think this is a brains roll regardless. I just have to figure out what number you would go with to copy and paste until it fills in. Let's call that, and you want it to last, so let's say 2. Let's say 9.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, you can aid yourself with a magic die. Let's go for it.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna use my advantage.
I thought you did!
I didn't already use it.
You didn't? Oh, okay.
No,
Sorry.
That was JJ used it.
All 3 of you have it, so I'm trying to keep track.
I had suggested he use it, and you're like, oh, it's not worth it. And I was like, oh, okay, great.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Never mind. I got a 1 at first, and then I turned that 1 into a 1. So, I got a 3. Actually, a total. I got more than a 3. Now I think about it. I got 4 because of my +1. My 1.
That's
Okay.
perfect because I have 3 adversity tokens that I can spend for you, and that would get you to a 9.
Oh my gosh. You and your damn tokens.
I got them tokens, baby. So let's make that happen. I think that JJ trying to amplify his voice sees Alex running over to that, and then I'm like, Alex, remember, use your training. I don't know. I need 3 beans. Do you have 3 beans?
Oh, yeah.
This one stings. Oh, it stings.
One,
It stings so bad.
Well, we got the
Why does
sting
it-
beans.
Here, I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. I don't know what I'm giving you. I
I'm
literally
so
have looked
excited.
up.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna go retrieve my beans. Make you happy, Kevin. How did it receive it?
Why do they make me belch?
Kevin's well.
It's unnatural.
Yeah. These seem nice. 2 orange ones and a green one.
I don't like it. I really don't like it.
See, 2 orange and a green. Here, let's see. Let's see what happens.
Oh man,
I
I
think
also
all-
have 2 orange and a green.
Garrett, I know all yours are gonna be hot. That's literally all I have left is hot.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was like, you got those are some bad ones. All right, now the green one's fine, but
Kevin, are you shaking? Are you okay?
I hate this. I hate this so much. I hope
I'm sorry.
After tonight, you don't have to do it again.
ever again. I have so many beans. Why do I keep pulling? Okay. Alex is
Oh no!
taking his wand, and he's like with Harold and the purple crayon trying to scribble in where he thinks the gaps are. And some of it's easy because you know what a circle looks like, but the sigils you're having trouble with. So JJ rushes over seeing what you're doing to assist, and he has seen this room before. So he helps correct when you're really going off the rails or when there's something that doesn't look like it should be there, but he's like, no, I remember this having a dot here, a line there. Between the two of you, it's recalling his memory. He couldn't have just done it on a blank canvas, but having seen most of it, he can piece it together. You also have the aid of one below you. So between him, you, and the fact that you were just trying to assemble the pieces of these sigils, you make one successful trap. Grounder ceiling. Which way are you going with this?
Oh, it's up to you.
What were you starting with?
Probably the ground.
I think that's a good choice. So you get down and you're drawing it and you're piecing it together, and that's how you're spending your turn while this thing thrashes around wildly, and oh my god, it can't do anything. You guys.
I think I died.
All right. It is flying. Terrible. Okay, great. Yeah, it's flying around wildly, or aimlessly. I should keep correcting. No, wildly now because its skin is burning from the bleach. Everyone has to make a flight check just to make sure that they don't accidentally get whopped by this thing.
Okay.
But everyone gets to roll with this with advantage. Everyone gets to roll with advantage, and you only have to beat an 8. This should be
for
simple
flight?
enough.
That's
flight.
good because my flight
Flight
is
without
an 8.
magic.
I love it. I love this. I love this for me.
Exploded.
Well,
Third.
You're helping out your friend. You're focused on the thing. So
I got a 6.
okay.
I have a 6 as well.
I got a 30 because I exploded with my D20. I think I avoided this.
Alex disappears into a different dimension.
So
Such a-
Alex, seeing it coming, quickly goes "Whoop!" and ducks down. But the other two don't go, like at the last minute, like heads up, what? You don't see it. and this thing comes and not collides with you guys, but does hit you again. So make a quick grit roll to see if you take any damage.
Love it. That's a 5 + 1. That's a 6 for you, boy.
Great.
I also got a 6.
6 is better than 2, which is what you guys were missing by. So you don't, you guys, you get hit, but you don't take anything. It just kind of interrupts what you're doing. You know what? I don't have stats for Charlie, but I'm gonna say that he's been working at it, and he busted a chair, and now has a piece of wood, and is cautiously making his way back to you guys. Woo-wee! Okay, JJ, it's your turn. You are now held by Alex in the center of the room, the dead center of the room, helping his illustrations.
So I'm gonna point at the ground and use my spell again. My amplified, hey, look at me, I'm over here spell, for the one that says, everybody, come to me right here. So whatever it would take to get this guy to fly into the ground, that's what I'm doing. So I'm making the ground underneath that we just fixed speak as I move Alex and myself out of the circle.
Oh, I apologize. I forgot to see if it reacted to the amplified voice. So I was going to make another roll. No, wait, I'm sorry. I'm rolling the wrong die. This would be this one. Oh, absolutely not. It doesn't feel a thing. Okay, that was then. Nothing has changed. I apologize. Using the amplified sound, roll the same stat I had you guys last time.
Brains.
No, it was charm, wasn't it?
It was brains. And then to amplify. Oh, you want the amplify stuff?
For the amplify spell. It was
charm.
Mm-hmm.
That was a D10. Let's see. 5. It was a 2 + 1, which is a 3, but I get to use my magic dice as well, right?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Which is another 2. So it is a 5 total.
Well, it rolled a 2. I'm going to say this time you get it. It feels it. So it's deaf and blind, but it's after the 2 attempts of trying to use sonic vibrations to lure this thing over, it feels it. It doesn't hear where you're at, but it's a bat. So, or it's still a person. So it feels. So it's making its way over to you, knowing that there's people in that area. So it reacts now by flying in your general direction and hoping that it can plow you guys. So everyone make another flight roll except for Alex, who rolled a 19 or 30 last time. You got to beat an 11.
You're not going to get plowed this time, Alex, because you rolled a 30.
That's right.
It is actively swooping in your direction.
It be swooping.
This time you get advantage though because you see it coming. You just dodged it once. You see it coming again. What's up?
Exploded.
Great.
And then I got a 1.
Giving you a grand total of
10.
Okay.
9 + 1.
I got 5.
All right.
Flight is not my
JJ sees it coming, and it's not that you get hit by it or brushed by it like you did last time, but you have to kind of duck to avoid missing it. So the charm breaks. So it's going to have to assume you're still there, but you're fine. Paris, on the other hand, she already took a near miss, and getting back to her feet from the last time does get hit. So roll grit for me. And the difference was 6 here. So let's see if you take... You got to beat a 6 to not take damage.
Come on, Paris.
That's a 1.
Okay.
So I get an adversity token, right?
Have you already used your advantage?
My God. Am I allowed to roll again?
Yeah, if you wanna use your inspiration here.
Oh yeah, my reroll. Yeah, I do. I don't want to get hit.
Okay. Great. Reroll.
Oh my God, I got a 1. It was
That
meant to
It
be.
was meant to be.
Same thing that happened when I did.
God dang. Gosh darn it.
All right.
Sorry.
Each
oh my
one of you-
God.
Yeah. 1 against 6. You take 5. I'm gonna say you take. So silly. Yeah, you take 5 damage. That seems
Out of
awful.
what? I mean, can I eat 2 tokens?
To do what?
Can she use her adversity tokens to reduce
Yeah.
the damage?
Yeah, could I?
It's
I
mysterious
don't-
damage, so we don't know how it works.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
No.
how it works either, y'all. I'm making this up. Go.
Okay. But I have like 100 like hit points, right? So 5's really not gonna like hurt
Yeah,
me
you're
too
fine.
bad.
No, you're not dead.
Great.
You take 5.
Okay, great.
Both of your legs are broken, but you're fine.
Yeah.
The guy in
So
Austin Powers.
I'm sorry, but you rolled so poorly. So poorly.
I sure did. I sure did. Yep.
Twice.
I sure did. I clearly I
that-
should have like rolled it better. And I don't know, man.
Alex, you're up.
For what?
Sorry, Paris. Paris is up. Paris is next. I apologize. So
Okay.
you take a hit, but now you get a chance at revenge.
Oh, I'm pissed. Okay. I am going to. You know what? I'm gonna use my magic. I've got a ton of bobby pins in my bag. I'm gonna use my magic to shoot all those bobby pins at its wings and just pierce the crap out of its wings so that creature can hopefully stop flying. Like basically little Paris
Oh.
arrows.
Oh my god,
Arrows.
these tiny little darts. I love it.
Yeah,
Paris arrows.
yeah.
It's also a cool name.
This is gonna be great. And you've done this kind of thing before.
Yeah, something similar.
Roll
It's gotta be
fight.
cool.
Roll fight with the aid of your magic to beat 4.
Come on.
And I can't use reroll. I don't have an advantage, right?
Actually, I'll let you choose fight or flight for this one.
Oh my
Fight
god,
or flight,
yeah. Fight.
aiming for
Sorry,
4.
did you said okay, fight. I definitely want to use.
Because you're making them fly through the air. Oh, it's all about
Okay.
speed. So I feel like either one of these is appropriate.
Okay. 9 total. That's fight and magic.
Great. So, ooh. Um, 9, great. It definitely doesn't notice this happening. So it hits him. We're just gonna find out for how much. You guys got it again. Yeah. So now it's struggling to fly because its wings have been battered with pins. I'm not gonna say you ripped it to shreds or anything. Oh, what'd you roll?
It did hit me. I got a 9.
Got a 9. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wait. I'm sorry. I had a 5 and then I got a 4 of magic, so I need to re-roll my magic.
yes, you do.
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
do.
do.
Oh, good thing I don't know math. Okay. Okay. I got a 10. I got an extra one.
Yay!
Hey, I got
Okay.
a 10.
Yeah. So
You did
it's flying through the air. It thinks it finally had your guys' positioning, but now it's like being thrown off again because its
Okay.
wings are being battered and it's hurting and it's struggling to move. It's not flying nearly as fast enough. So you know what? I will reward this with knocking down its best stat a level to a D12. So Alex, you're up.
I want to get working on the other sigil on the ceiling.
Okay. I will.
I
Go ahead.
figure if they were both done, there must be some sort of connection. So I want to finish
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's make the same roll, but with advantage. So brains again.
Cool. I've tried it with advantage. I got a 1 both times.
Remember. What is my
Is it
mouth?
still a 9? Because I feel like I have a much better understanding of what the sigil looks like. I've already finished one.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Then just do charm then. How about that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do charm instead of. Absolutely.
I mean, because it's not flight or fight or grit or, you know.
Yeah.
I've worked on. I feel like I've worked on this game a lot, y'all. And the one thing I haven't been able to crack, and I would love to find out how other people do this, is like, so just magic that doesn't line up with one of these attributes. How do you do that? It's my only qualm with this game. I think it works really. I'm sure it works really well with kids on bikes, but kids on brooms. Sorry, I'm off my soapbox now. What's up?
My plus? Because if I have any plus, I do. I got a 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't give you a number to
I got a
aim
9.
for. Did I give you a 9?
Well, you said 9 before.
No. But you've done it now.
So,
yeah. Whatever. Yeah, I'd probably make it like a 4 or 5. I forget how I tallied it up last time. Great.
Cool.
Copy and paste. You do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Charlie's running over and it's like, okay. What's happening? Because he's looking at this thing and it's just like kind of like writhing in the air and without any direction or sense. It's got a bucket on its head. Its hands are bound. Its feet are bound, but it's just flapping like a injured bird.
JJ points to the sigil on the floor and he says, "Charlie, bring it over here." He points to the ground.
How do I do that?
Yell, "Oh my gosh, I'm so tasty. Look at all my blood." And then run into the circle.
Okay.
You can do it.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I can't cast magic, so I can be bait. Sure. He stands in the circle and he looks, he goes, oh. Good thinking, guys. I'm so tasty. I'm blood. And he even musters up the strength a little bit, and he takes the stick and pricks his finger with it. and just like looking at you guys, out of the corner of his eyes, holds his hand up, and he's just standing there shaking, but he's trying to lure it over.
JJ stands next to him and puts his hand on his shoulder and grabs the stake as well, so they're both kind of holding it and is like, "You're tasty."
Love it. This is beautiful. All right, it's turn. Let's see if it notices anything. Brains. This is its personnel. It's an instinct. So I'm rolling. I think for this. Okay. All right. It does notice. It doesn't whip around, but you start to see it even out its pace and turn and come at you guys. So wow, 13 and 13. That seems serendipitous. Okay. Yeah, it rolled 13 to notice the smell, and it rolled 13 to fly, which is what its only real skill is now, and it was always its best one, because they're quick. It darts right at you guys. So once again, everybody, make flight rolls. Actually, no, just JJ, because you're the only one standing in the circle with him. So make a flight roll on behalf of yourself and Charlie.
No! I exploded, and then I roll a 1 again. So that is a 9 plus 1, which is a 10. I'm 3 short.
Okay, you don't dodge out of the way, but you did have a stick in your hand. So go ahead and make a flight roll. And this is where it's going to react to see if it knows. Fight. Sorry, pardon me. Fight roll, yes. And
my worst stat.
If it makes you feel any better, it's rolling with disadvantage with not great set. 2? Okay, it just has to. You might succeed in this. It rolled a 6, but it has disadvantage because it can't see anything. It rolled a 2. I'm gonna say Ty goes to the runner, and that as it's coming down, you don't get out of the way of it, but you hold Charlie. You're using your loyal action to save him, in this moment, and you raise up and strike it. Okay. Sorry.
It's flying into a devil's trap as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you don't do any real lasting, damage to it. Because it hit another 2. So I'm gonna say you get it enough to where it feels it, but it doesn't take any bad damage. But now it's trapped, so it's flying in. Yeah, it's wild. Okay, you rolled low. I'm sorry, and it just hits a wall of nothing, and it takes it by surprise. So it's now in the thing. You guys are rolling out of the way. You are all surrounding this thing that is pinned by every means possible, except it can hover in the air in this very, very small space. It's trying to scream, but it's muffled. It's trying to thrash, but it's bound in every way. And now it's pinned in motion. It's just this twisting, writhing beast in 3 cubic feet of space. Like, you guys trapped it. So it really can't do anything. And it's Paris's turn anyway.
Okay. I mean, at this point, Charlie still has his stake, right? Is the last thing we need to do is just drive it through the heart? Can we, like, use all of our forces combined and, like, have Charlie use his own physical brute to just stab that creature in the heart and call it?
I think so.
I mean,
so
like, we're the Power Rangers.
It's your turn.
We're the
What do you want to do?
Terminators.
Charlie and JJ are holding the stake.
JJ's holding it too? I thought he was just holding his shoulder.
I was holding his shoulder.
You said you had the stake in his... You said you had the stake as well.
I did. I grabbed the stake with one hand. So we were holding it together. But now,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, let's... Charlie, this is your moment. Guys, let's get him to do the thing. Buffy the Vampire, I think, is a thing at this point in time, maybe. I don't know if that's time frame. If you're too nervous, Charlie, I'll do it for you.
I look around at everybody and I say, together, we all put our hand on the stake. And we...
Okay. It's still twisting in midair. It's not like you've lined up a shot, you know? It's still able to do this. So it's not holding still is what I'm saying.
We need to keep it from moving completely.
So, Paris, if you want to try to pin it in place...
Is it still flying or... Okay.
It's hovering in midair, and it can only move, and, like, it can't move left or right. It can only move up and down a couple feet, but it can still twist around, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So if you want to hold it in position, you got to make that happen.
Okay.
Like,
with magic.
We can do it. We just have to get it on the ground, pin it with something.
Or with magic. Just throwing that out there.
Are you talking about, like, when we froze the dragon and had, like, the ice corset thing?
Sure, if you want to do it that way. Or with ropes, or just by, like, paralyzing it. Like, the world is your oyster, guys.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna recall my memories of my grandma basically being paralyzed by her illnesses and being sickly and staying in her hospital bed and all that anger and frustration and my hopelessness and everything that I felt. I'm gonna bottle all of that up to paralyze this son of a gun, because I don't know if I'm allowed to curse. Son of a gun.
I want you to roll charm with advantage. This is awesome.
So you get a reroll just in case. Okay, I'll take that one. A 12.
Cool. It definitely doesn't see it coming. It does not. You got 12.
Yeah. And I can add on 2 more points if I need to. You just let me know.
You don't. You rolled. It definitely gets hit. It is stuck and it's just like you freeze it in place.
Do I?
And not only do you do
this
that,
is a wand. Should I have rolled a magic too, or no?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, hold on. Don't tell me what it does yet. Okay. What did I say I had?
12.
I had a 12. So I have 14 now.
Okay, 14.
Okay, if that changes anything.
If you like exploded and went off, I would take it in a different direction. But
sure. Okay.
It's paralyzed. It's stuck, and not only it can't. It's not even that. It's just like held in place, by visible force. But you watch as it kind of shrinks back in and becomes a person again, and it starts to have bed sores and the ailments that you felt and witnessed from your grandmother.
Snap.
It is taking
It's your
damage from. No, I wouldn't do that.
Grandma.
It's taking not only is it pinned in place, but it's taking damage from this. It is barely alive. Its head is now back to being this, like, the bucket was the only thing really keeping this thing on, the head on, but it's kind of like sagging and it's shriveling up, and it's still technically in existence. It's not alive because it was half dead to begin with, but it still has a life force within it, but it can't do anything. Alex,
Now
it's your turn. Oh, everyone?
Together?
We're a team.
Great. This is. I don't even know why I'm rolling. I'm just doing it because I'm, to be fair, as a GM here.
That's fair.
You all assisting each other, so I will add up all your numbers. Don't even know why I'm rolling. Oh! It exploded. It's fighting for its life, but I'm not going to say what the final number was. Everyone roll fight for me. No magic, just fight.
This is bad.
And I will say, yeah, Charlie is helping, but I don't have stats for him, so I'm not going to add his number. It's all up to you three. 1.
Off to a great start.
2. That's 3. 4 is 7.
Oh my god.
It beats.
I can add 2.
You don't need to.
Okay.
It exploded, but it only had a 5.
Oh
it's
my
on
god.
It's on its last limbs.
Oh.
Everyone, I love that this is a group. As a group, this is your moment. Someone, tell us how it goes down.
I think.
Well, Charlie's at point though, so he puts it in first, and he's got JJ behind him. And I think like the two of you kind of push at the stake, and I think the other two of us kind of slam it from the back, kind of just to push it further in, to give it just a little more oomph to go deeper, and then embedded, his body does what happens to him when it hits the mark.
All right. It caves. The chest cavity caves in as you go deeper and deeper, and you finally break through. And just like Paris had, like chopping through its neck, it just becomes like paper and dust, just like ash within its body as it just gives way and kind of implodes in on itself, falling apart into dirt and soot, and it is no more. It is
JJ's
just
face,
a large pile of ash.
Is paper white as all of this happens, and he like stumbles back and sits, and it's just like one of his big fears is hurting someone really bad, and I think when the chest cavity caved in, I think he had a moment. So I'm gonna say he's rolling under fear for at least the next couple encounters.
I think he is too. And we were going to take a moment to catch our breath and come down from that and take a quick break, you guys. Let's call it like 5 to 7 minutes just to rehydrate, go pee if you need to, and just like catch our breath after that ordeal. we will see everybody in 7 minutes. Let's say 7.
It's a good run
And we'll be
number.
right back to see what that next encounter is. All right? See you in a bit. Good job, team Terminators! Welcome back to our ongoing adventure in the last final episode of Dungeons and Detention, where our three misfits, Paris, Alex, and JJ, have just defeated a Bruxo with the help of their friend Charlie, who can't perform magic, but he can drive a stake through the heart of this thing with everyone's help. Thank you so much for boosting this person up.
Yeah.
So I think it's only fitting that we dish out some last minute homeroom points, because recent events must be accounted for. So I'm going to say for pure nerve and outstanding courage, all of you get 60 points. For cool use of intellect when in peril, that's in copying the sigils from one to the other, I'm going to give Amber another 50. And for standing up for your friends and helping them, all three of you also get another 10. So this puts the standing where everyone has now just earned 70 points, except Amber gets 120. So yeah, Amber's at 120. Great job. Sapphire gets 143. And Ruby, because Charlie's in Ruby, that was from last episode,
We discussed this.
gets is now at 189.
Ooh.
So well done. Amethyst still sitting fairly, Amethyst is sitting pretty decent at 61, and Emerald, which is the house of our esteemed director, is at 200. So he's still technically in the lead, y'all.
Our director behind the scenes is gloating so perfectly.
Okay, so there, admittedly, there were some details I left out from Alex's intuition for dramatic effect. So let me describe them. I am too. You had all the information you needed. I would just like to give you the information that you might find enlightening now. You all are standing in the center of the room, and as you take a moment to catch your breath and let the ash settle and look around at your space, you all see everything I described: these stone floors, the wooden floorboards with the lights cracks coming through, the reminder that there's a table off in the distance with silver cutlery that nobody decided to pick up. I'm just saying. I give you everything you all need. And the line of pillars. This place seems like a pretty barren room. It's kind of an odd structure to where it's open, but it's short. There's nothing really here, and the only thing discernible about it, other than there being support columns, are two things: broad pipes that sprawl across the ceilings from the edges toward its center. It seems rather unfamiliar to the three boys, but to Paris, who has seen this before in her first day of divination class, it seems somewhat telling. They all draw not toward the center where you all stand, but just off to the side toward the very large off-place pillar in the center. It's the hardly recognizable but now restored devil's traps are sitting next to this this construction, this obelisk, if you will. And this is the second detail I left out. There's seams running on opposite sides of it, and between them, a heraldry etched into it. There you find one final cockatrice. And these menacing sigils next to this stoic presence of this structure that I'm going to say our map guy might recognize as that mysterious circle he found when he dove deep. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so thus you recall that this structure is
the center, the heart. This is the heart of Havenhearth. I point at the obelisk.
The Havenheart.
The Havenheart. But what's in there? I kind of look at the seams, and I'm going to put my ear up to that obelisk. Do I hear anything inside?
You hear a snap. Reveal a decayed corpse inside.
I sit down.
Withered clothing, a dead flower in its lapel. You saw papery skin barely hanging on to bones before. This papery skin is clinging to the bones. You see its striking cheekbones, its rather handsome jawline, and its poised expression as it seemingly stands inside the structure. And Paris is laughing with fear. Laughing. Oh, whiskey.
Our dog is
I think it's time to make a familiar check then. We
Yay!
finally got to see Whiskey on screen.
Yay, familiars!
So, are Frisket and Diamond doing well with this revelation? I just want to make sure.
The revelation that there's a dead guy with a flower. Sorry.
I mean, I don't know how
Whiskey.
possums and porcelain foxes react to it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know
cool.
what the porcelain fox.
The dead body, a possum. I feel like she'd be familiar with the smell. I mean, because they go through garbage and stuff. You know, she sees a lot of like corpses.
Sniffing the air, twitching wildly.
Quiet, baby.
As is Frisket's. Just
Yeah.
little frisking back and forth. Its ears are pulled back a bit. And Charlie stands there just as aghast as you are and says, okay, so it is a mausoleum. This is really odd. All the portraits I've talked to, no one's mentioned this.
I wasn't doing my familiar check because my familiar's not here, but I did want to mention that as JJ is sitting on the floor, after seeing that creature like die so horribly, he's like holding his chest and thinking about wishing that his orangutan was nearby.
That's sweet. That's really sweet. And, you know, he is just on the wrong floor.
Yeah. I want to take a closer look at this corpse, even though I'm terrified. Do I recognize its face?
It doesn't really have much of one.
Oh, gross.
But
do I recognize the bone structure?
You do recognize the mustache.
That's what I thought.
The whiskers, the thin whiskers still attached to his face, are present. Its grin, smiling perhaps he was a charming, smiling person, or because it's mostly skeletal now, matches the grin, the mustache, and the poise, the fine clothing with a lapel, though decayed with time, all line up to at least Alex, and the drawing that Alex showed you, JJ, of that of Xander Sinclair.
This is the guy who wanted to bring wizards and non-magical people together, right? JJ,
jaw.
oh, sorry.
Yes. Go on.
I was going to say, JJ takes the staff in his hand and kind of sets it in the sarcophagus with him.
Its hand reaches out and grabs the staff.
Oh my goodness.
The decrepit figure shakes and moves forward.
Oh no.
From its stone coffin and stiffly steps down to the stone floor before it. The billowing dust falls away to reveal this husk of a man, no longer dashing. You are ruining my dramatic moment. We spent months leading up to this, and I will not have you ruin it.
It's perfect.
It's fitting is what it is.
Oh.
This dried husk of a man,
He looks like a cat.
no longer dashing, but still standing proudly, steps down. The thin mustache upon its parchment-like skin tells you this is the reanimated shell of Xander Sinclair, but his actions tell you something about Xander Sinclair. His bones and dust-ridden clothing creak as its leathery hand grabs the staff, flips it around. It's already agape. Jaw opens a little further. The staff shrinks down in its grasp into his wand.
Yeah.
Cool.
You recall it was tapered. It was a tapered staff. And the once handsome figure raises the wand to the remains of his lips, and standing before you, because I've taken you all took a step back, in a whispered breath, it speaks, "Expel the Argless."
My
A low,
Arglisses.
guttural sensation pulses from the half-dead wizard, and a
no.
low groan calls from the walls of the school.
Oh,
And
no.
then finally, the dark space you are standing in settles back into silence.
Welcome back. Mr. Sinclair, we've been waiting for you.
We have?
Yes, we have. Don't you want to know what's become of your lovely home? Did you even get to see it finished?
Stivahan. She
Well-
was to finish my building while I was hindered.
I look at all of the pipes and stuff and I go, "You mean dead?"
Between death and life, I waited far longer than I expected. He starts to turn his hands over and see that he is decayed over time. That though his spell did work, it took far longer than he thought to activate it. This is what have become of my vision.
I have some really nice hand cream if you'd like to borrow it.
Thank you.
He's our makeup
He-
expert.
It's come a
she'll have you
long
ready
way.
in no time.
Yeah.
I remember my aides and makeup artists back when I was in the moving pictures. Always could rely on them. Thank you, dear. You start to hear noises above you. Footsteps. Scuffing and scurrying around above you.
What did you do when you woke up? That thing that you said, what did you do?
I built this place as a haven for wizard kind, so that they could be free to celebrate their endeavors, their achievements, and where they could understand their significance in the world, free from the influence of the non-magical community that has always taken the spotlight. A shelter for wizards of every kind to be free of no-so's. And he starts to move his head and look over towards Charlie. As you hear voices above, some low, deeper voices like those of professors, it sounds to you, JJ, with your great hearing, that they're ushering students inside the room.
But the no-so's and the wizards, I thought they worked together. That's what your museum said. All the amazing people, the no-so's.
My museum is a monument to wizard kind and all its tribulations throughout history. And yes, there have been times where I partnered with no-so's and that no-so's have contributed to wizard kind, but they are the favored few. As I said, if only every one of the Arkless could be as helpful as these, maybe the world would be a better place. A muffled yet blood-curdling scream emanates from upstairs, and panic breaks out above you. The footsteps are scurrying rapidly. Voices are falling and tripping over each other. Upstairs.
JJ pulls out his wand and points it at this guy's face and says, "What did you do specifically to this place?"
Though the Arkless can have a place in Wizardkind, as they done, I know from experience that the Wizard of Menlo Park, as he liked to be called, could be everyone's friend, but they'd be a betrayer. You can't trust the Arkless, and there's no reason why we should have to. This is a place for wizards, after all. Wizards of every kind.
Every kind. I take out my wand as well. I think there's a lot of beautiful magic that happens from people that don't necessarily have gifts that others do. Anyone can be a wizard. That's what I've
Come
learned
now,
here.
child. You can't just become a wizard. You're either born one or not. A red-eyed gargoyle with cloven hooves smashes through the floorboards above. Its blood-curdling bray rings from a horse-like head that drops behind Charlie before snatching him up within his claws. And just as quickly, it thrusts its stony bat wings to fly upward through the hole it created and the frightened people scurrying above to evacuate the school. In this moment, you see a small, wiry wizard with shaggy black hair and dress blues robes, slinging spells upward to fight back the efforts of these gargoyles. His wolf familiar is trying to herd children out of the room that you can barely see the door of through your vantage point in this hole in the floor. And while you're distracted, Xander Sinclair begins to pass between you and make his way towards the side of the room where you came from.
Boy. I grab the wand out of his hand as he walks by.
Well, didn't the gargoyle grab him or no?
No, he
Charlie.
grabbed
Charlie.
Oh shit!
Make a brawn roll.
You got it. That's an 8, pal.
Oh, okay. It could do it. He could do it. But he does not. You grab the wand. You don't wrench it out of his hand, but you definitely have the control here. Who else wants to react in this moment?
Yeah. I rescind my offer for the face cream. Beauty is within, bitch, and you're super ugly. Oh god, I'm so pissed at this guy and hit the nerve. I have a quick question before I react. Ellen,
Okay.
do we know what happened to Ellen?
No,
I
you
think she was the vampire lady.
Maybe.
The vampire was not a lady. The vampire
No,
was
because she was supposed to help rebuild and stuff. So, okay, does that question, does this have anything to do with why he's so old and crinkly? Did Ellen do something? Like, did she try to lock him away?
Secrets. Alex.
Okay.
Oh man, Alex does.
You don't have to do anything in this moment. I can come back to you.
Yeah. I think I've. Not
Cool. So it's now you standing your JJ. It's you standing your ground with his hand. He notices you do it. Let's see. You rolled an 8.
I rolled yeah, I think so.
I'm just checking to see if it. Okay, you win the fight. You win the tug of war. So you do pry the wand from his cold, dead hands.
I point it at his face, and I want to recall the words that he used when he cast the spell. And I'm going to try and make it emanate from his lips again, the sound of the spell.
The spell? So you want him to cast it again?
Why?
I'm trying to get him to reverse it.
So the spell, what he uttered from his lips was expel the Arkless.
Oh.
That's not great. I don't want to do it again. Don't double expel. Okay. Crap.
You take your moment. Alex, you back in action?
Yeah. So this guy is kind of alive, kind of not.
It's a
Is that
lich.
true? It's a lich. All right. I want to cast a spell at him. And what I want to do is I want to see if I can undo his livingness. Thinking about, I know it's not exactly the same kind of thing, but let's see what happens. Thinking about everything that we've learned about giving life to that which shouldn't have life, like Frisket, for instance. And see if there is... I know. I'm not going to cast a spell. I'm going to pull out some paper and start drawing runes. The inversion of what Frisket has. So you're probably pretty familiar with his. So kind of draw the negative space, if you will, and see if I can guess at a rune that would be the opposite of giving something movement when it should have it and taking it away.
Wow, that's gonna be quite a brains roll.
Yeah, it is.
God.
But he doesn't seem paying any attention to me, so I'm just gonna start working. I'll probably just drop to the floor and start writing.
So, I'm sorry. So you're trying to just guess what the symbols that would be the reverse of what?
Yeah. Because there's, I don't know, should pick up on the patterns and try the inverse.
This, I mean, you're gonna have to roll like 19 for this.
Easy.
So I will let you just keep rolling and rolling until you get it done. So while you're doing that, just signal me when you're ready. Paris, what's she up to?
Oh God, I'm so upset that this whole thing is happening. But he's like an old bony man, right? He's like not even himself. It's just his soul in there. Can I kick his knees? Like break his knees so he can't walk anywhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it. He's distracted right now.
Great.
I rolled a 3
someone
for
taking
my
his
first
wand.
one, by the way. 3 out of 19.
Keep at it, friend.
Baby.
Keep at it. I believe in you. Okay. Paris, yeah, roll fight. Yeah, and then he's gonna roll against you.
Okay. Gotta find the heck did my... Oh, here it is. It's a 3.
It could happen. He got a 4.
Okay.
No, wait, he's not casting magic. Sorry, he got a 3.
Okay.
He got a
great.
3.
Okay, we tied.
Yeah, sorry, that +1 is from his wand, which he no longer has anyway.
Yeah,
so you tie goes to the runner. You kick him in the knee. It doesn't break, but he drops to his knee. Like you kick his leg out from underneath him, essentially. So now he's like he wanted. He's not moving. He's on the ground, and he's in this kind of awkward position because JJ had his hand up in the air, and now he's down. So cool. He's... Oh God, he's gonna try to react to that by standing back up. He has to roll for this now. Oh, that's wrong die. Wrong die. It's his worst stat, guys. This is great. Oh shit, he exploded. Okay, so he stands. He drops to his knee, but then he manages to force like his self back up by sheer will. He basically magically stands back up onto his feet, and as he's kind of floating in air, he begins to move forward a moment, but he hasn't left your what some might call opportunity of attack.
Gotcha.
He's beginning to make his way forward as he passes through you, but he hasn't done it yet.
So this wand is what cast the spell that conjured up these gargoyles, right? And he said expel the Arcless.
Yes, he did.
So I'm gonna hold the wand in the air, and I'm going to imagine the connection I have with my orangutan. But instead of trying to connect with him, I'm going to try to connect with all of the gargoyles that he has just summoned. And what I'm going to say, instead of expel the Arcless, I'm going to say expel Alexander Sinclair. And I'm going to put his face in my mind, his rotted, decayed abomination of a face. And I'm going to try and cast that spell on the gargoyle connection.
Okay. He's a charm guy, so you're gonna roll charm. You have to match 15 to have any effect on his spell and try to counter it.
Okie dokie.
But you have his wand, so you get the benefits of it.
Okay, what does his wand give me? So I get a
Plus
roll.
3 for charm. Plus 3 for charm.
Okay. And I get to roll my magic die as well, correct? Right?
Yes, you do.
Okay, let's see. Okay. So that's a 6 on my charm roll, plus 3, which is 9. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, I exploded on my magic die. Yes,
Okay.
that's 10,
Keep
11,
it
12,
going.
13. I need at least a
Uh-huh.
2.
That's okay. I can give you some tokens if you need. I got 2 of
I
them.
got a 3, baby!
Wow. Wow.
So I got 16. I want to say that I Thundercat style say it and then hold the wand up in the air.
Does that mean you keep saying it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spell
God.
out. Go ahead, I hold it up.
God, in that case, how did I describe it? A pulse of energy emanates from the wand and from you. A low groan calls from the walls of the school, and the spell isn't necessarily reversed, but it is negated. I'll give you that. You don't see the effect of it, but you felt that you cast magic. So something happened. That's what I'm gonna tell you for right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's so exciting.
Yes. Cool. Would you, real quick for me, JJ, while you're here,
Okay.
roll a d20 for me?
Oh no.
Go on.
What?
This
Two.
actually calls for a push-up.
No!
Did you get a
my
1?
God, we haven't. He got a critical failure. We haven't done this yet. This is a leftover house rule from our last campaign, and we have not seen this happen this entire time. I'm so sorry. And you already burned your inspiration. That sucks. It's okay.
I did.
That's the 1 on your
okay.
20.
It's
Is
okay.
that what that means?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got a
Oh.
1 on his 20.
It's a
That's what my ones
critical
were earlier, but that's okay.
failure.
I don't
Look
need
at
to do
it.
push-ups. You can just
You're
imagine.
Fine.
You're winning.
It's
Look
okay.
at it.
Okay,
Wow.
it's okay. In light of that, no relation, I would like everyone to once again roll for initiative.
Shoot. I really have.
I forgot to grab a pencil, and I'm going to need to write this stuff down.
Oh boy. If I get a 20 on this initiative, I'm gonna quit.
What do we? Which dice are
Just
we
roll
rolling?
d20.
D20.
Okay, great.
I
thank
got a
you.
12. Good for me. You know, I was secretly hoping that a bunch of gargoyles were gonna just rush through the ceiling and like eat him.
It would've been nice.
It would have been great.
Okay. I need everyone's numbers, if you would please.
12 for JJ.
Mm-hmm.
I got 14 for Paris.
Okay.
17 for Alex.
Okay. All right, and just so I remember, JJ has a point of damage, Alex has a point of damage, and Paris has 5. Okay. I get to use my comically cartoonish pencil for scholastics, y'all. I'm excited. Here we go. Alex, it's your turn. The spell has been negated, so to speak. I'm just going to put this cool lighting on because I love it. Once again, thank you, Paul. And Xander Sinclair is regaining traction.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Remember that thing I was doing before? I'm drawing more furiously now. I hope I'm not on his radar because I haven't done anything to offend him. I've just been drawing a picture. I rolled
You're
a
just like
6
sitting on the
time.
ground, drawing. Rolled a 6. Go ahead and do it again for me.
Cool.
We'll say you have advantage as you keep going.
Aren't there sigils on the coffin? There were sigils on the obelisk, weren't there?
There was a heraldry of his coat of arms from his family with a cockatrice.
Okay.
This is tough for Alex because you did look at that one book. That's right. You gave the initial animation spell, but you didn't give it life. You weren't witnessing what the elves did.
Right. Well, I saw it. Did I not see it?
I remember JJ watching while you were kind of like reveling in the.
But didn't they do they not use runes?
They did, but I remember you were across the way, the crowd parted, Kiss Me played.
Right. No, I'm talking about these are the runes that are on Frisket. I know Frisket. I know what he looks like.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then all right. Then in that case, roll again. You're now aiming for 13. I'm taking it down from near impossible to impressive.
Great. As of now, my total has moved up from a 3 to a 3 plus 6 to a 3 plus 6 to 3. I'm at a 12. So I'm going to keep working on this.
Oh, you're so close.
Yeah,
so
well,
close. Take an adversity token, though. Take an adversity token for all of that.
Yeah.
All right. Next is Paris.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to summon Ellen, please. I know I'm pretty good at the mirror stuff and recalling certain things. So if I take one of my little compact mirrors, I look at him to basically think Ellen, Ellen, Ellen. So I'm using that power to be like, and then summon Ellen. I'd like to bring Ellen here, please. I think she'd be pretty disappointed. I hope.
This God. Your number is going to be 14.
It's not that. It's not the opposite. Okay, what?
Your number is going to be 14. Pick whatever stat you need to get a 14.
Okay.
And because you're not using your wand, but you're using divination wand bonus, but you still get to use the magic die.
Okay. Sir.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I literally have a 15 and a 1.
Okay.
Ay.
In your mirror, you see the face of a young lady with dusty blonde hair and a pixie cut. She's wearing casual clothing that is either black or gray, kind of a charcoal. It's hard to tell what color it is. It's like very desaturated, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
And she, oh my goodness, I love this. She says, "Oh, hello there," and you've summoned her. That is going to be your turn, but this is amazing.
You and McGregor. Hello there.
Ellen.
My God, what an illustrious career.
All right, JJ. Your turn.
Oh boy, I am
so well with initiative.
I am very upset.
It's an upsetting time.
I would like to, in our D&D campaign with my friends and I that we had to cut early, there was a dragon that we fought that I created. I would like to summon the illusion as real as possible of this. Actually, I'm going to make it better. It's not a dragon. It is a spider. From the Dritz Ruden series, where Dritz is from, it is a realm filled with giant, terrible spiders. And I want to say the name of their queen. Oh, God. It starts with an L. It's been a long time since I've read this book. But I'm going to summon her, what I would imagine to be her. So it's not... Here's how I'm gonna sell it to you. It's like illusion magic, except I want this illusion to be so real that when it attacks him with its pincers or whatever, it hurts.
Wait, are you summoning Loth?
That's it. That's the name.
Wow. Okay.
I know this.
Let me pull up a picture of her again. It's been so long. Oh gosh, this book series was probably something I just shouldn't have read.
Yeah, go on.
No. Sorry, this is just kind of an aside, but like my first D&D character that I made, Loth was part of his backstory.
Yes,
so this is great.
I am going to allow, because of that, I just think that's really cool. I'm going to allow Alex to assist your roll with this. So, your guys are rolling charm. Alex does not get the benefit of his magic die, but JJ does. So let me know what you guys roll for this.
Oh,
and JJ, it's 13 to conjure the illusion. It's I'm gonna make it another 3, so 16 to have it be corporeal.
Boy, oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, well, here goes. We'll see. I'm using his wand, though, so I do get the +3. Oh, wow. That's a 6 plus 3, so that's a 9. Let's see the magic die. Oh my god, I exploded again. Alright, let's see what I roll. So that's 9, that's 13. Oh, come on, here we go. +2, I rolled almost the exact same roll. So that is 15. And Alex gets to add his dice to my dice.
My charm rolled a 10.
26. That's 26.
What color is this thing?
It is like a dark blue purple.
Okay.
Let me see.
That's fine. That's good, man. So, you cast this spell, and behind the two of you, rising from the shadows, is this disgusting giant spider woman. She is menacing, she is enormous, and she is angry. Oh wow, how do I do that? Yeah, he's got to roll grit to see how he reacts to this. Only fair. He got a 5, so he stops in his tracks, and so he's no longer moving forward, which is cool.
Can I say something? As he says, "Oh my," I say, "You know where I got that? Non-magic, bitch."
You see, in his brow begins to furl as a scowl begins to form on his almost expressionless face. And you know what? JJ, roll another D20 for me. Let's bring her into the initiative.
Oh, this is exciting. She got an 18.
Shit. Okay, this is amazing. It's his turn next, though. Seeing this giant obstruction that is very corporeal. Thank you very much, Alex, who was thinking about life creation magic at the time. Xander goes to attack it without the aid of his wand. So this is gonna be interesting, guys. I'm missing this die right here. Okay. Great. So he, his bony fingers extend without the aid of his magic, and he casts this beam of energy from his bony fingertips at her. I need you to counter JJ, rolling on behalf of your new familiar. It's a fight roll. I'm sorry, Alex. You rolled what again to aid him?
I had rolled a 10 because
It was like a 26. Yeah, so let's make that her fight die. Roll a d10 to counter. You got to beat 3.
Oh God, because my actual fight sucks.
With your aid of your magic. No, let's do this. Alex, you have a part in this. Roll your magic die. We'll add that on too. We'll have fun with this as a partnership.
Cool. So I rolled a 3 on my D10, and then you roll your magic die.
Oh, it's just a 2.
Do you have any fight bonuses with your stat, Alex?
Fight?
I think you do.
No, fight is one of the few things.
Oh, okay.
My fight is a D8 though. I rolled a
Okay,
D4.
but so I'm so sorry. So you rolled what again?
I rolled a 3 on my D10, and then he rolled a 2, so that's a 5.
5 beats 3. So the spell has no effect for whatever reason. He can't figure it out. But his magic has no effect on an illusion. He doesn't know it's not an illusion, guys. He doesn't know it's an illusion. So the order of operations continues, and we have one final player in this lineup. They got a 1 on their initiative.
Oh, yes.
The orangutan jumps down from the hole in the ceiling and lands itself on his back because he's been stopped dead in his tracks. So do a flight roll for me, just to make sure he doesn't completely fall on his face in this attempt.
Okay.
It's your flight.
Oh, he exploded.
Yes.
Yes, that is an 8 plus a 7 plus a 1. So that is 15, 16.
Great. I'm not even going to bother rolling against that. Yeah, the orangutan leaps down and just plants himself on Xander Sinclair's back. And because it's got a nice, strong grip, is just going to go for the old face grab. So do a fight roll.
Yeah, rip it off. He's got moldy, decayed skin.
My fight sucks, by the way. Oh no, it got stuck. Okay, that's a 3. He got a 3.
Oh, give him advantage. It's your orangutan. Give it advantage.
I mean, with a D4, a 3's pretty great. Yeah, it's a 3 or a 1. So there you go.
It's a 3. Okay.
It's a 3. Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't have a great fight.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. The thing goes to grab onto something, but the dusty skin is not what it was expecting, and its fingers kind of just like smudge his face around a bit rather than doing actual damage. But now he's got this beast clawing to his back when it was focused on another one before him, and he is very disoriented. So he doesn't take any damage, but he has no way to fight back at the moment because he's so bewildered. So let's move back to the top of the lineup, which means it's Loth's turn.
Oh God.
What do you guys want to do with it?
All right. I don't want to hurt my orangutan. Can this actually cause damage? I think we did it right.
You made it very corporeal. Yes. You made it an illusion. Alex gave it life. Yes.
Sweet. So I think Loth is going to use its front legs to try and destroy Xander Sinclair's legs, to sweep his legs just away from him.
Which one of you has the better fight roll?
Definitely not me.
You know what? I've got your stats in front of me. I can figure
I have a
this
D4
out.
for my fight.
Okay.
Mine's a D8.
Oh, actually, you both have a D8. Oh, yeah. So, Alex, please make a fight roll for me.
Yeah, no worries. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a 2.
It's okay. His flight roll is his worst stat. So,
do I get to roll my magic die with it?
Oh, he exploded. Mother hell. Yes, you do.
Good,
but now you're
1.
aiming to beat a 5. Okay, you got a 1.
I got a 1. That's a 3.
This thing, with the orangutan on his back and now realizing there's this other threat behind him, he pushes backwards a bit, just instinctually, just out of the grasp of your spider. It's back to JJ's turn.
What?
I'm sorry, Alex's turn. Pardon me, Alex's turn.
Cool. Alex has to finish his drawings. So this should be the last bit. Hell yeah. Alex got a 3. And he was at 12. You said it was 13.
Yep.
So
Did you finally totaled up and crossed 13?
I have crossed the threshold of 13. Yes.
Okay. So I'm so sorry. It's been a while. What was your runes were trying to take life away from him?
Yes. To take away his unnatural ability to move, given the fact that he's just a corpse.
Okay. In that case, the charm is successful. I need you to just make a charm roll for me on for your symbols.
Cool.
And he can't escape this one. It's just a matter of if he can take it. So I'll tell you this: you are aiming to. Wow, he keeps rolling well with this. You're aiming to beat 8.
All right. Now,
I'm sorry, 7.
My intent, because I've just drawn it, my intent is to cast it onto him. I was thinking to like hold up the picture and cast through it so that it kind of brands onto him from through the image.
Okay, so charm or brains then?
I would prefer charm.
Charm.
Okay, cool. Will I be able to use my dice for my wand?
Your magic die? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
No, you were casting a spell. Absolutely.
Wait, this is super.
Yeah.
It exploded. So
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Kill him. Send it back.
16.
Okay. This is unnatural. Hold on. Okay, it kept rolling 7s. Like every time you guys hit it, it kept rolling a 7. I just want to make sure my die wasn't broken, but it doesn't matter because he's rolling a D8. So these symbols burn into his clothing and then crawl up to its neck and create gaping holes, and then up his bony face that has been pulled off by the orangutan, and he starts to lose all ability to move and is starting to just stiffen back up and lean toward his coffin once again. For the fun of this, I'm gonna keep it going and say, Paris, it's your turn. He's been immobilized.
Bring it on home, Muscle.
Great. Well, I mean, I have Ellen in the mirror. Is the only thing keeping you alive the love of your sister? Well, guess what? She's here and she can see what a disappointment you are. Can I push him back?
Yeah, hit him where it hurts in his heart.
Yeah.
She says, he's not my sister, he's my boss. Ah!
Yeah.
No.
She's still disappointed though, right?
She's still disappointed in him, yeah. And she says, but she says, but it gives me no greatest pleasure than to watch you finally die with my own eyes, you bigot. And yeah. I love this moment, so I'm gonna figure out how to reward that in a second while we now go to JJ. I want you to have JJ's turn. What do you want to do?
I think JJ wants to call his orangutan to him so that Sinclair's back is open. And so he's going to look at his orangutan and say, Griffin, come here! And then he's going to cast a concussive spell and push the Sinclair back into the obelisk. Like he's just going to wind that he's been using before.
Yes. So your newly named orangutan, Griffin,
Mhm.
pushes off of the stiff board he has been clinging to and leaps through the air to land beside you as you blast a concussive force. So give me a brawn roll.
Yeah, baby. That is a 12. Big old 1-2.
He rolled an absolute failure, and the force throws his body back into the coffin so hard that that dust kicks back up, and more is created as his papery skin, his leathery clothing, and his brittle bones crack against his stony tomb. I'm going to say one final time because of that concussive blow, and I want Paris to be involved in this as well. Actually, all of you, you all deserve this. But JJ, please lead the way. This is your moment. How does he go down?
When he's in there, I look to Paris and Alex and Charlie, who's gone. Never mind. To Paris.
Wait.
We don't know where he's at. I mean, you stopped the gargoyles. Hopefully he's on a ledge safe somewhere.
Hopefully.
And I say, I couldn't have done this without you. Let's close him in.
Okay. The corpse slumps a little bit as it tries to maintain its corporeal form, but before it can react, hearing your words, the woman in the mirror utters a spell, and the lid of the coffin slams shut once more, and you see the seams on the side disappear, leaving only the herald remaining. And the spell is over. The dust settles. The room quiets as you all catch your breath. It's just you down there and no one above, no living person above. However, a woman does descend through the floorboards. She phases through it as her ghostly form descends upon you, and Paris recognizes her as Ellie. How'd you find this place?
Lady, it is a long story. But thank you.
You're telling me.
Oh, who is this, Paris?
It's Ellen from my mirror. She literally just saved us. Apparently that was her boss, not her brother.
Yeah, I got that part.
Okay, cool. I'm just telling you the obvious, but...
For the record, you saved us. For now.
Why was he like that? Why are all magical people so against non-magical people learning and working together with us?
Well, some would say he's a product of his time, but I don't think that's an excuse. You see, Mr. Sinclair worked with a man who called himself the Wizard of Menlo Park, and they had a partnership together, but the man wasn't a wizard. He just wanted to be one. So he kept stepping on Mr. Sinclair's toes. And Mr. Sinclair, actors, total narcissist, wasn't having any of that. So the relationship fell apart, long story short. And everyone was moving away from here to go west, to found Hollywood. And eventually Mr. Sinclair decided to do the same thing, but he wanted to be different than everybody else. Because again, he's a narcissist, but worse, he's a bad person. So while everyone was working together to create moving pictures, it was fascinating. You should have seen it. Magical people, non-magical people, they were working together, you know, wizards and no-sos. It was a great community. Wizards would make these movies. No-sos would go see them. They would be remarked at how amazing magic was. They get to talk about it. It was fantastic. And Mr. Sinclair wanted to move in on that territory. I mean, who didn't? I wanted to be a part of it, which is why I applied at his studio. And I got to be his assistant. And he loved my ideas because I'm pretty clever, if you don't mind me saying. And he started his own studio, but he said he wanted to make moving pictures just for wizards. And I thought that was silly because we already had moving pictures, but he wanted to do something, make a mark. He was jealous. So he wanted to make the first moving picture that could also talk back. No one had done that yet. And that's, he said, would make wizard pictures better than the others. Everyone would want to come to see his pictures, but only wizards would be allowed. And I thought that was kind of mean, but who am I to say? The man was supposed to be a genius. Well, his movies weren't doing very well, so he pulled out all the stops in his last picture. He called it The Countryman and the Alchemist. Ugh, it's disgusting. It sounds like a charming story about this wizard who's like becoming a friend with a muggle, but if you read between the lines, you realize he's just putting him down the whole time. It didn't go over with people. He showed it to the studio, and they hated it. So he just doubled down. He just kept putting more and more hatred in his final picture. And this last scene, ugh, you should have seen it. He's standing there in front of the sunset, final end of the picture, giving this grandiose speech about all of the good that wizards do for the world, making it a better place, and how it's only up to them to save, you know, these poor no-sos and raise them up to be members of their community so they could be useful. And all the time he's just trying to tell that these, you know, us wizards and warlocks and witches, that we should be looking down on everybody else, everyone who can't do magic. It was disgusting. Standing there looking so proud with a little flower in his lapel, sun shining behind him, like he's what he has to say is a good thing. They hated the scene. But that's not what the problem was. He decided to take it further, and he cursed the film. He tried to not only imbue it with sound, which didn't work, by the way, but he placed a curse on it so that anyone, knowing that his studio was going to fail, his theaters were going to fail, being for wizards only, that anyone who couldn't perform magic, they'd get hexed. And they started to hurt each other. And that was his way of taking them out. He wanted to push them down while raising wizards. That's not equality. That's not making the world a better place. That's violence. Anyway, the studio obviously was going to screen it before distributing worldwide. He thinks he's so clever. He's an idiot. These studio executives, they got hexed. They started fighting each other. But again, Hollywood was a partnership. There were no-sos there. There were wizards there. And the wizards caught wind of what was happening and broke the hex. And when those executives came to and realized what had happened, they blacklisted him. They had to save face. They cut off the end of the picture. They still released it. They tried to save a few bucks, but there was no sound, so it failed. And he was blacklisted, but they had to save face for the studio, so they just said that he was going to gracefully retire and move back home. So he did. He came back here. And then, shoving his weight around, acting like he owns the place, acting like he's the big shot, he moved in here. He built this place right in Edison's backyard, just to stick it to him one last time. It's so petty. And he tried to build a museum, a monument to wizard kind. And I helped him, because I didn't know what was going on. I just thought they kicked him out of the pictures. It wasn't until his last part of his plan was enacted. They found him dead in the editing room. He put himself into his film, his soul, hid it in his projector. And when we realized this what happened, we went, well, we certainly can't play it now. So we couldn't get rid of it, couldn't get rid of any of his stuff. He had enchanted it all. So we hid it. We hid all of his stuff. I tried to hide him as well. The damn fool put himself in this coffin, thinking that People were gonna love his movie. They would play it. He'd get his revenge. He'd get his second chance at life. And he'd finally get his day. But I sealed the place up. I'm clever. I like puzzles. I like riddles. So I hid a few. Trapped him here with the Bruxo. Thought that'll be the first line of defense. Made sure the Bruxo was trapped. These symbols, I see somebody got the better of it. The Bruxo couldn't get out because of the mirrors. The Morims, the Monoag. Put all these fail-safes in place. And I guess it lasted for 60 years, but he's still around. He's still a part of this school, whether we like it or not. Anywho. You hear clamoring from above as faculty starts making their way and sees you all down there.
So is he gone? Or is it just waiting for that film to play one more time and then back he comes?
Well, I'm gonna guess he didn't destroy it. Because he was moving. But you didn't play it. Because he didn't look very good. He's still in that limbo.
I saw a little bit of it. I think.
Poor thing. Poor thing.
But just a moment. Am I gonna be okay?
How do you feel?
Hungry.
Cracks.
You're gonna be fine, sweetheart.
That tracks.
Cool.
You know, you said that the film projector was enchanted, right? Like you couldn't destroy it?
We tried. It's
But
a
if you-
phylactery.
Mhm.
It has his soul inside. You can't destroy a soul, no matter how hard you try, no matter how bitter and decrepit it's become. It's up to the soul to change. As you all stand there, bricks on the side of the room start creaking and groaning. You've heard them slide on your very first day here, and they move out of the way. And you see faculty on the other side. You see Medicine Witch Nedra and Professor Antari. And you recognize them standing in the nurse's station. And Nurse Nedra, she comes out of the room, bolting. Antari following behind, doing his best to be the upstanding professional that he is. But you see his pace is quickened as they approach you. And he asks, "Is anyone hurt?"
Paris.
And Nurse Nedra comes.
I point out Paris because she took 5 points of damage. She's more hurt than any of us.
I
And
mean, it's some heavy duty bruises. I think I can do some really good cover up.
Nurse Nedra says, "Oh yeah, oh yes, it is. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. It's okay." Oh my god! I knew you guys were down. I knew you would be down here. I knew. I felt it. And Antari says, "What happened? What happened?"
Ooh.
Did you
so
see
this
it?
is-
No.
Oh. The film? Not
Did you see it?
really. Him. Oh, we saw him. Yeah. But we took care of him. And the Bruxo?
Yeah.
I had a feeling
Ellie helped us out.
you're all still alive. Miss Deverham. And he's kind of like examining the room now that he's okay, priorities are in check. The kids are safe, they're not dead. He sees a large pile of ash and I think you all should come upstairs.
I have an idea. So, if his soul is trapped on that film, can it still see and hear and feel?
We, as necromancers, this is still something that's a bit of a mystery to us. But for all intents and purposes, I believe so.
So if we were to edit together our own films and play it back, like cut it into his movie, he would be able to feel them, right?
It's his story. That film is his swan song. It's his masterpiece. It's he pulled his, and he said this at the time, nobody caught it, his heart and soul into this picture. You can try to change it, you can try to adapt to it, you can try to recontextualize it for your own purpose. But he is still at the root of it. I don't know, with all your creativity, with all your brilliance, how you could ever make it your own.
I just want to show him that there's so much more to the no magic people than the no-sos than he thought. By showing him their stories, and the ones that they've made with, you know, their own magic.
The thing I underestimated about this group was your creativity. We had fail-safes in place. You got through them through gusto and grit, which is something that I think the Hob and I anticipated and expected. But what surprised me about you all, in top of your tenacity, is your way of thinking around a problem and finding a new approach. Made it very, very hard to keep you from all this. You have the imagination to take it further. I suppose it's worth trying to tell your story, but just know that in some way, in order for him to see it, for him to be affected by it, he still has to be a part of it.
Oh, this whole school,
which means he always will be.
None of this would exist without him, whether we like it or not.
It's the sad truth of things, yes. As this conversation is happening, go on, I'm so sorry.
It doesn't mean that we can't make something new and better from its unfortunate bones.
Ellie says, well, that's what we tried to do. He wanted to make this museum that was also a final resting place for wizards, you know. And he called it his haven, and we thought, well, that's not the way. You don't just tack up your history and your examples of what you think are the most telling. You be an example. So we decided to build a school, but we couldn't get rid of the place, so we tried to bury the foundation. But we had to build upon it in order to do any good with it. We did try to make this a better place.
We still have the museum. Sorry, there's just a lot of really great wizards that we could have learned about. And we could probably learn about some also great no-sos as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what we tried to do. His museum is... You don't see it right away. we didn't notice it at the time. And I didn't. But it's the little things. Go back and read it. Go back and see what he did. Some of the nasty people he put up in there, gave him a pedestal. Trying to make a bad example of good people and a good example of bad people. Just because of whether they were born with or without magical ability. And then the ones that were so impressive, the Gnosos that were just so magnificent they couldn't be denied, he tried to make it seem like they were the exception to the rule. Go back and see. As these conversations are happening, Nurse Nedra is tending to your wounds, Paris. So you're back, you're good, everything's fine. And then she says, "Okay, let's get you all out. And unless there's any real opposition, lead you all upstairs."
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Everyone is gathered in the grand cafetorium. The banners have been raised much higher than you've seen them yet. They're all stretching at about 6.5 feet up, maybe 7, because unbeknownst to you, you all earned 200 points for destroying the bad. But it's because everyone is there. Everyone is there helping each other.
Except for Emerald House. Oh, yeah.
Except for Emerald House, yeah. So you caught up to them, and then just got just a little bit past. But as the banners raise up, you can see the silver bars that are in the zenith of each banner dull themselves into black bands. Surprisingly, the amount of people doesn't seem to have actually changed that drastically, but the feeling inside this room absolutely has. A small number of people have been removed from the school, but far many more are upset and scarred by the events. And most everyone there is confused and unsure about what to do in the circumstances. I could go into detail about some of the figures that you met and what they are doing, but as a wash, everyone is kind of consoling each other in a way. And now that you two have been tended for and found, and they're doing, Tom and Hank are doing head counts of all the students, trying to get a tally, they go back to Principal Lisegoy and check in with her.
Wow. Holy crap, guys.
Is Anahit here? Is she in the room? Or is she still...
Anahit is not in the room.
I think...
However, as
wherever she is, I want to make sure she knows everything that happened.
Yeah. As you guys returned to the space, the... Gosh, who do I... Okay. I'm so sorry. I am trying to think of who this... I didn't anticipate this, so I'm trying to think of who would be the most appropriate person. Let's say Professor Yo, who is familiar with the four of you for having saved the day as a unit and had you guys in class twice. She comes up to you and she says, "Oh, thank goodness you guys have been found. Oh, we were so worried. We knew that you guys had saved the day before on more than one occasion, and so it kind of crossed a lot of the faculty's minds that they must be trying to do it again. Great job. I'm glad you're not dead. Yay." So one of the Hob gave this to Professor Jem, gave this to me to give to you. It's a letter from Anahit. You guys remember her? She had trouble with the light casting spell, and she nailed it. She was great.
A letter?
Mm-hmm.
Open
you guys
it.
want it?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Dearest friends, It is with the utmost sadness and happiness that I have to leave you all. I discovered amongst our adventures during my injury that, well, parents think things.
Where'd
Also,
I do it?
as fate would have it, during my discovery, I may have accidentally bit Brahm, sucked his blood, and then asked if he would like to join me in my new vampire adventures. We are now running off to the sunset after the sun sets, because the sun, and living out our new happy never-ending story. I truly enjoy my adventures with each of you. JJ, keep up with your anti-teacher sentiments. F the system, right? Alex, you're the best leader for your age. Paris, never stop with the creative fashion solutions. Girl power. Girl code. I only knew you for 4 days? Question mark. But I will miss you all and hopefully see you all again.
Several months.
It did. It's been these have been long days.
Long
Thank you
days.
for the bloody good time on a heat.
Oh man, guys. I flippin' called it!
Vampires with a dragon. That's so cool.
Oh man, I want to put
And
that
to be
in my
fair,
next campaign.
guys, we have AIM. Like, we could always contact her and keep
Oh yeah,
keep her
that's
Oh,
true.
updated.
yeah.
So, like, you know,
Did she leave
gone, but
her
she's never
AIM
really
handle?
gone.
Right. Are you ever really gone when you have AOL Instant Messenger?
That'll never go away.
No.
Oh man. This has been great. I think I know what I want to do. You know, this whole time I've been like wanting to get back to my friends and wanting to leave everybody behind here so I could go restart my life, but meeting you guys and doing this crazy stuff, I want to bring these worlds together again. My friends deserve to know this, and you all deserve to know them and how great they are. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know how.
Figure it out then. We'll make a way that works for everyone, and I don't know, us secret wizard folks and everyone else we know. I don't know. We'll all get along. We'll all be friends.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I graduate, I mean, I just gotta, you know, I got a lot riding on this, so
Yeah,
I'm down.
till then,
Let's bring them in.
All right.
I got some more people I can experiment on with their
Yeah.
hair and stuff, so it's great.
We didn't hurt your graduation chances, did we?
No, I'm still here.
I think Paris is right, and I think that should be our next adventure. Making sure she can get through the school year.
We've got you, Paris. You've been doing your homework, right?
What?
We'll work on that next.
So, Professor Yo says, "Oh, so you decided to stay? Before you got here, Principal Segoy more or less gave everyone the option to stay at the school or to do as you like. She's not going to hold anyone to any requirements of fulfilling your academic obligations, because outstanding circumstances, nobody saw this coming. People would make different decisions if they'd known better, which none of us did. So you can stay and finish out the school year, or you can do like some other students and decide to seek elsewhere. Some of the teachers have volunteered to be open for private tutoring or things like that. We're all still trying to figure it out. But just thought you should know, because you guys got here late.
Yeah, sorry. We were just saving everyone. You're welcome.
I think I want to stay.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying. I just realized I dropped her accent because it's really hard. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that, I just wanted you to be informed. I thought at the very least, you deserve to know because you all were off doing the hard work of casting magic. Oh, by the way, I'm really proud of each of you guys. Gold stars for all.
There we go. There it is. Thank you.
Great. Those better have a
Thanks,
numerical value towards someone's grades.
Yeah, probably Paris's because she didn't do any of the homework. Sorry, I mean she did do all the homework.
She's the best student you got.
Super. She should graduate now.
Well, it's going, like I said, we're still trying to figure it out because, like I said, it's an adjustment. Some of the students and faculty are trying to decide if they are going to leave or stay, and some of them aren't here anymore. So,
like they died?
Well, some of the students and faculty were taken away.
What?
By the gargoyles?
They got snatched.
Where are they?
We're trying to find them. We're hoping they'll come back, but we don't know.
Oh my god.
But, your guidance counselor was one, and we could really use him right now. But if you guys were taking magizoology or social studies, protective magic, that's another class that we have to figure out. And the whole library is... We gotta find a new librarian.
All right.
Deserve that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He said expel... I remember. Expel the Arkless. Do you think he tried to take them into his movie?
No, I think they just got expelled. Because the gargoyles, the devils, as the Arkless tend to call them, have been here to protect the school and scare away any non-magical people who might discover the school.
Oh, right.
They're here to keep everyone from wandering too far into the streets of the magical world and bring them back to school. He just took that to a different degree and it's like he decided who belonged and who didn't.
What a dick.
And so anyone that didn't belong, the Arkless, as he called them, the gargoyles did their job and removed them from the school, put them hopefully just back to the streets.
JJ, do you still have the wand?
Yeah, I do.
This wand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, Principal.
Here you go. Raise your voice.
Gwyneth.
Principal Gwyneth.
Principal, let's go.
Gwen.
We don't have time for that. People are missing it. I grab the wand. Return the Arkless. Return the Arkless. And this is kind of almost like almost a prayer that I'm doing.
I put my hands over Alex's hands and I start to chant the same thing, and I look over at Paris as well.
Okay.
Return the Arkless.
Return the Arkless.
Are you all doing it together?
Return the Arkless.
Hell
yeah, we are.
Return the Arkless.
Everyone roll
Return
charm.
the Arkless.
Everyone roll
yes!
charm.
We will make it a happy ending, goddammit! I got a
You
5
are
plus
aiming
1.
for an impossible task, but
right.
You're all doing it together.
I started with a 6.
I got one better. I got a 7.
Yeah! So, Alex, all you need to roll is whatever the difference is between that and 20.
You're at 13.
I also have 2 tokens I can use.
Hold on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I got a 5.
Do we get to use does one of us get to use a magic die? Because we're using a
wand. It is a wand.
We actually...
This one is plus 3 to the charm.
Plus 3 to charm A, so we all should add 3 to our rolls, correct? Or just 1 plus 3?
No, just the 1 plus 3, which
That's fine.
I was going to say puts you over 20. With the 5 and the 3, that makes 8. 8 plus 13 is 21. Hit me.
Yes.
Again.
Gargoyles.
A sensation pulses through the walls, groan once more. Everyone kind of has this moment, and the gargoyles are off doing their thing again.
Yay!
It took some time, if you recall the first moment.
Mm-hmm.
So, Principal Asagoi comes over and is caught up to you, and she says, yes. Thank God you're all right. Thank God you're all right. I mean, I don't know how to feel, if I'm disappointed or proud, but I'm so glad you're okay.
You're proud pointed.
I think things are gonna be okay. And then we're just like looking around. I don't know if I'm really paying her that much attention.
Do wizards cross their fingers? I cross my fingers.
So, Principal Yo explains that you have the wand, and she has you have the wand. Oh my God. I don't know if you should be handling that. May we please have it? We don't trust it.
Yeah, we're just sort of right in the middle of one thing.
What? Yeah, and just still kind of holding on to it, just kind of looking around, like, yeah, just a second.
In the middle of what?
And
then you hear these faint cries and screams in the distance as the gargoyles come rushing back in with people who are like, you can tell like they're clinging on, and you can tell they've like, because of their clothes are all askew, they're like, what, like trying to fight it again, but they're like calming down because they're coming back to the school, and everyone is being slowly returned to the grand cafetorium, and some people are walking in like, shrugging off the beasts from the seeing that everyone is holed up here, and everyone is even more confused. You guys found a way to do the blip from MCU, basically.
Yeah.
And everyone's come back. Everyone's pouring in. People are still nervous. People are still uncertain. People are still scared and scarred. And not everyone is happy in this moment. There's definitely a lot of relief. But nobody's dead.
Yay! Charlie!
Charlie hears his name and like starts to make his way up to you, and as he does, he hears his name again, and he sees Cadis and Soren, and he's just like, oh, what? And he comes up to you guys, and he says, okay, I don't know what you guys did, but thank you. Let's hang out later.
I would have done it without you, man.
Yeah, thanks for everything.
And Paris plants a big one on his cheek.
Oh,
like,
girl!
Nice.
Okay, he's charmed. Yeah, roll charm. Just roll charm for me, real quick. Roll charm. Let's see how this goes.
He's smitten for the rest of his life.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Did you explode?
What?
Yeah, what? On my 20!
Wait, no, I will give you all of my adversity tokens. I have nothing to use them for.
I have 2 adversity tokens too, so I'm gonna do that as well.
Cool.
I am done eating these beans.
Well, technically I have 3 because I just failed. So I have now 1, and then how many are you giving me, Zach?
You don't get 1 for the fail if you're using the tokens to win.
So 1 plus 5. Garrett, do you have any left?
No, I used all mine.
Okay,
fighting
so it's a total of
glitch.
6. It's a total of 6.
So you gotta eat 5 beans on your
This
way
one's
out.
for you.
This is for you,
I got
Charlie.
My God, y'all. Okay, hold on. Let me consult something here. I got on my many charts.
Grass?
Okay, so...
Popcorn?
No. Hold on.
Oh no.
Okay, so there's a girl named... Yeah, he... okay.
Pissed off his girl.
He yeah, he takes the smooch and he says, thanks, but I'm seeing something.
Oh my
And then
God.
kind of like walks off towards his buddies, but like with a little bit of a strut.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Okay, I was just happy he was back. I wasn't trying to like do anything. Jeez Louise.
Well, you
dude.
rolled poorly, so that's what happened.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. All right. Yeah, everyone is sitting. Most of the students are kind of dispersed amongst the homeroom tables, but they are definitely not sitting with their tables. Everyone is intermingling and mixed, and like I said, talking, consoling each other. And now with the re-addition of these other players, it's a little bit more celebratory in the air. And you all, I don't know. Do you guys take a seat? Do you go get some rest because you haven't slept in days? Like, I don't know. It's your moment. How does it go down?
Picture all of us kind of sitting around a table, and for me, JJ is feeding Griffin the orangutan like just grapes, just like flicking grapes into his mouth so he can eat them. And I just say, I can't believe we actually went on like a real life Dungeons and Dragons adventure.
I've been dreaming about doing this for my entire life. Having going to a school like this and going on adventures like my dad used to. Getting in trouble. It really hurts.
Yeah, did your dad summon an undead like person as well?
I don't think he like, I don't know, went into like the library at hours you weren't supposed to. I think it went a little hard.
I don't know, Paris, does this match up with anything you've ever done before?
I mean, I've been to a lot of schools. I've seen a lot. As I'm sitting there just petting Diamond. I'm going to leave it at that.
I'm also playing with Frisket, like moving my finger around the table and it's like chasing it.
As the night progresses and moods begin to mellow out and people get to realize and start to think outside of the initial panic and distress of what the future holds, people see you, people recognize you, the Terminators, the Misfits, those kids who for the last 3 days have been making quite a name for themselves. And people come up to you and start asking you about what happened and what you do and how that happened. You start to just share your story. And we could just keep talking ad nauseum about how the night goes on, or how the school year goes on, whether or not you pass your final understanding of course curriculum to ensure readiness for future scholastics, things like that. But yeah, that I suppose are other stories for other days. But we'll say that you all saved the school and certainly had an impact. Gave everyone the opportunity to know what it's really about and make it their own. Good job.
We did it.
Yay.
We solved your dungeon puzzle.
And you brought everyone back through the power of teamwork.
Hell yeah, we did.
Woo.
Woo! We did it! Yes! Get excited, Whiskey. Be happy. We did it!
Oh, no, this one. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! Good job!
Let's give our amazing game master, Kevin Allen, a big round of applause.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Man, what a journey.
What a journey indeed. I will tell you this, I didn't know how to wrap it up. I was kind of, I really wanted this to be a sandbox experience through a large part of it. Mm-hmm. I kind of had a final, these are the steps you're going to have to take to get to the final boss. But everything you did with him and because of him, I didn't want to really have an agenda or an idea or motive, but I will say I thought it'd been really cool if fire was involved. So I set up this cool special effect, and I'm going to use it because I put in the effort to make fire happen, just in case you guys decided to burn down the school. I just have to show that off, and in doing so, I need to thank Paul Vasilakos for helping with the lights. I need to thank Joe Crandall for helping with the smoke effect. And I'll say one more, and Dylan Fernandez for making my DM screen so beautiful. And I had to give credit where it's due.
Damn it.
Anywho.
Can we go back and burn the school down?
You may.
And then
Absolutely.
As we're there, we smell a smoke and the school starts burning down around us.
Fire was a motif I kept dropping throughout this entire thing, not just because of broad strokes, being the Phoenix. But I just thought, if I can subtly suggest them that they should burn it down and start it from the ashes again. I just wanted to lay down an option, but I really like what you guys did in being optimistic, finding the good, finding the value, saving the day, and basically opening up the heart of the school to accept everyone again. And what I thought was really cool and unexpected was, and it would have been a bigger story, that if we decided to do a season 2 of this, might be the new story. Because I joked in the very beginning it would be about you guys preventing Y2K next year. But I think the next story we would tell, if we were going to do that, would be you combated the bigotry and the what's the word?
Assholishness?
The limitations and segregation of the schools, to have a specific type of student that's accepted at the school, this imagined boundary between what is us and what is them. You broke that for the school and let everyone come back into it. But there was still the hurdle of between the wizarding community and the non-wizarding, which is of the larger world. The school is bound in that world. Sure. And I think that would have been the next hurdle for you guys, is to take it up the ladder, so to speak, and tackle that institution, because you broke this one.
And I like that.
I think that was really cool.
Like, that was the first thing we talked about. Well, what do we do from here?
Yeah, I mean, you guys were talking about opening it up to everyone in the world. No boundaries, no definitions, no labels, just people in the museum. And you weren't aware that was Xander Sinclair's rule, which you destroyed. It's a good job. But also the rule of, the Wizarding Board, we'll say.
Yeah.
So, for keeping that archaic thing alive, not taking a stand against it, Anywho, yeah.
Wow. Holy
good
crap.
job. I don't know if I'm stressed because I've had so much caffeine today, or because this episode, the Bruxo leveled up and you guys got toe to toe with it and you kept at it, and there was some near misses throughout the entire battle. It took far longer than I think I anticipated, but probably just the right amount. And then the discovery of everything, that was really stressful for me because I was laying it all out there finally. All the mysteries and lies that you had been told, I finally got to unveil in 2 different ways. I loved you summoned Ellie, because back when you guys were in detention, if you had chosen other extensions, you would have gone upstairs and met her, and she would have laid it out before. Nice. But you skipped ahead, which is great because we're on a time crunch. But you got to bring her back into it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. This was the girl, by the way, that the Hob was telling you. That Nakagani was mentioning to you, Alex.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You wanted to meet her, and you finally did.
I did.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
And then, like I said, I kept it an open sandbox at the end, and I just love what you guys did. I was stressing because I didn't know what to do. It was all up to you, and very cool.
That was great.
What were some of your favorite moments?
Man, I'm very happy and impressed with just the story that you laid out for us, man. I thought that was really cool. I enjoyed, Ellie's conversation with us, and I love the fact that I got to summon Lolth for like
Yeah.
a couple turns. That was so
amazing.
fun for me.
I don't want to step on your toes, so I'm going to put a pin in this thought. But that thought is, I love that you pulled inspiration from that universe. I love that. And it made this experience meta for us, because we are filmmakers living in a literary themed world playing D&D, and like you kind of making that full circle was just cool.
Yeah.
I just think it was super cool. Love that. Sorry, continue.
No, that's great. I was really, I mean, it was fun for me too, because I haven't read those books in so long, and so to like, dredge my memories for these things was really, really fun. Gosh, I don't know. What do you guys think?
This was just a really fun session in general. I love anything that is vaguely combat oriented. With Katie here, because she does the most interesting things that I never in my life would have thought of. Every time it's like, what? Awesome. And like I love you sweet talked
Oh my god,
Yes.
bleach.
You made him inhale the fumes of. He
Oh.
just did so many interesting things. That I want to say, it has been a pleasure playing with you, because you've
Thank you.
consistently been just a source of creativity that has been so much fun. So I just want to thank you.
When I was talking out of my butt as Professor Antari and trying to think of something like poignant and all-encompassing to wrap up this narrative, I'm pretty sure I was just like complimenting your play styles, especially you, Paris. I've mentioned it a few times, and I'm trying not to pick favorites, because each one of you guys brought such really great things to the table that made this story possible. But the color, the pop of color that you gave this game was so inspiring this entire time. It really made this unique. It really did.
I love that we all had our own styles of like our magic and whatnot. And I kind of finally found Alex's groove tonight, that he's really into like making drawings and using that as a thing. It kind of became a character thing.
I did love that. I loved that through line. Once you started doing it, I remembered you being in that class with that girl and like practicing the anime. It really was a really fun full circle thing for me to witness too. I just wanted to say I thought that was really neat too.
I love that JJ just like creates things from his imagination, because that's what he is. He lives in this little head world, and so he always just thinks of something and tries to make it. And it's just cool to see how everyone had their own way that like really shined.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I totally agree with what you guys literally just said, because I was like, man, like I appreciate you guys like letting me play, but I was like, I have to make sure this is still like character based. But then like, with JJ's character, just like pulling things where I was like, oh, I guess you could just use magic to do that, but like my brain does not work that way. But I was glad I was able to at least like have fun in that way. And then and then it was like with Alex, where it was like, what is he going through with these mood swings? But then all of a sudden he was like really focused on something where I was like, oh damn, oh yeah, I guess these, like you said, like the drawings, but the sigils, I was like, that's not even something I even would have thought. So I thought it was neat that it was like we had this physical thing, we have these like literal things that Paris have, and then we have these like figurative things that JJ's thinking. I just thought that was like the combinations combined, I thought worked really well, especially when we got turns to like try and knock him out this time, and then dang it, like I clearly thought that was like JJ's thing was going to work, or Alex's thing hasn't killed it yet, so it's like kind of cool to be like, well, when is this thing gonna die, so that was kind of cool.
It was cool.
Paris is an artist, like that's her thing. She's into fashion, she's into makeup, she's an entrepreneur. She really thinks outside of the box and really lives up to the Ruby household, I think, in finding new avenues to pursue.
I loved how
I love it.
practical she is too. Like your character was so practical. Even at the end, when Alex and JJ are like, "Wow, have we ever done anything like that?" And we looked at Paris, and you were just like, "Been to a lot of school." That was great. Oh man, I'm glad I finally named my orangutan as well.
I'm so happy.
Oh
I was
my
going to be
God.
so mad if that didn't happen. Why did you pick the name Griffin?
Because I'm an Adventure Zone fan. I
I
thought of
knew
it.
I fucking
I thought of
knew
it
it.
last session, and I was like, oh, I think I'll name him Griffin, just because there's a little
Yeah.
homage to the Adventure Zone.
I will say at first when you said it, I thought you had said Winston instead of Griffin, and I was like, oh, like Winston checks out. I was like, cute. But then you
That's
kept saying Griffin,
Dunstan.
and I was like, oh, okay. But
So,
yeah,
you
that's
didn't
nice
see
too.
the sequel to Dunstan Checks In, Zach, called Winston Checks Out?
Winston is the gorilla from Overwatch.
Oh my God, that's so right.
Wow.
But yeah,
So speaking
Yeah,
of deep
that's-
nerd
that's-
references,
yeah.
I wanted to touch on your inspiration, Garrett, for bringing in a whole other universe into this story, and I'm only saying this because I worked really hard on it, and the one thing I want to share about this is what I did, guys, and I hope you think it was cool. But I love that you did that because it aligned with what I did.
yes.
I took inspiration from probably 50 different fantasy franchises in this, some of which you guys caught, obviously. Lord of the Rings was an inspiration for the wizard. Stained Glass Wizard was obviously a nod to Gandalf, and then you met the portrait that was the representation of that story with Gardner. You guys called out some. You name dropped Professor Phillips' inspiration is Philip Pullman from his Dark Materials. I would also like to point out that ADNL, Amber, I saw in one of her stories that she correctly identified that Coach Timbo was a reference to Kiki's Delivery Service. And then somebody else, I think it was also one of you guys, in like one of your, somebody in a Snapchat like dropped another illusion with maybe not even realizing it, but I can't remember who's what. So because I want to show this off,
Yes.
I'm going to tell you about all of the characters you met. Oh, I remember who it was. JJ mentioned that Braum was like, oh, you're cool, like you're a dragon rider, like an Aragorn.
Oh my God, was that his name in Aragorn? The other guy, his teacher?
I honestly forget where I pulled some of the names from. Everyone was inspired by, or it was a amalgamation of the author and the main character. And I tried to combine prominent names that if you were in there, you recognize. So I'm just going to go down the list if y'all don't mind.
That's great.
Okay. So the head of the school, you know what? Let's start with the first people you met, which is Conductor Cornelius Hans Ibert. His assistant, I didn't write down their names. Ava and Miss Hodge, Miss Hodge, the three people who worked on the train. Were all taken from, you guys met them at King's Cross Station. You boarded train platform 13 because that was pulled from The Secret of Platform 13 by Ava Ibbotson. It's a book about a train at King's Cross Station that goes on magical adventures with a portal, cool. A portal hiding it at platform 13, and you guys crossed through that portal. Principal Gwyneth Ursula Lesegoy is inspired.
So excited.
Do you know this one?
No, I was excited to. This is the one I was trying to figure out all game.
Yeah, it is inspired by Ursula Le Guin's series Earthsea.
Like the movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tales of Earthsea is a good one.
Yeah, you guys, you didn't. These were super deep cuts because I was so afraid you guys would recognize this. But I implied that she's from the Philippines because the main character is from an archipelago. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Yes, I gave her like Philippine attire and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it didn't come up at the end. I really thought it would, which is why I called her. But her character is a refugee from feuding wizards, who wanted to defend people. So that's why she's leading the school. I won't get into details about every character, but yes, guidance counselor Perry Phillips. You all caught that. He's covered in dust. He's wearing a long coat and has a subtle knife. I kept expecting JJ to go talk to him, and I was trying to get characters to suggest you go talk to him about your familiar, because he was going to say, well, I once knew a girl who had a polar bear, and was going to give you, the map guy, a golden compass so that you could find your way around the school. But yes, so Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials. Coach Aiko Tumbo, I mentioned this, was inspired by Aiko Kadono's Kiki's Delivery Service. The only magical skill she ever used was flying. And she wore the exact same outfit, just sometimes switching out the bow for a set of goggles. Her broom was named Gigi, which was Kiki's cat.
Oh my god.
I'm having fun with this. I hope you all are.
This is great.
Okay.
This is fun. This is exciting.
I will continue. Professor Yoshi Atsuko, sometimes Professor Yo, is named after is inspired by the main character of Little Witch Academia's manga, by Yo Yoshimari and Ketsuko Sato. So just a combination of names. She's brand new, and everything about her magical ability came from that main character's favorite caster, Shining Chariot, which someone mentioned that she doesn't ride a broom, she rides a Shining Chariot. The guy running, I really wanted you to cross paths with this guy because your character's into fantasy novels. The guy running Detention was Professor Quentin Levi Grossman, or Grosswater, named after
the
Magician's author, Lev Grossman.
And Quentin.
And Quentin
Coldwater. Very, very specific name, and I was like, Quentin. Oh my god, why do I know this name? Oh, it's the Magicians.
Yep. And did you catch the book he was reading? Was Philorian Further, which is the book in the series in the Magicians. Yes.
Yeah. I got that.
I don't know if people are going to get this one because the series isn't out yet. It's out as a book. It's a series of books, but they're making a Netflix show, I believe, about the School for Good and Evil by Soman Shainani. And that was Professor Agatha Samanthi, who changed her outfit from being very evil looking to very good looking on a dime. And that's I didn't get a whole lot of reference for that character, but she was all about the series is all about the paradox of beauty versus goodness, and that was this character in a nutshell. Her TA, Hank Hyman, he is inspired by Wizard's Hall by Jane Yolen, who was illustrated by sorry, my notes are out of order on this one because
Evan, how do you spell his last name?
Hyman. The book is illustrated by a woman named Trina Shart Hyman, who also illustrated a book called Magic in the Mist by Margaret Mary Kimmel. Okay, about a young shaggy-haired boy who wears round glasses and a striped scarf and is a wizard who lives with a group of animals, that's being a dragon, a badger, a snake, a raven, a toad, a frog. He has a lot of animal friends. So he was describing those to you.
You really had two choices for that name, and you could have gone with Shart or Hyman.
So I went with Hyman. I should have gone with Trina.
You should have gone with Shart.
Yeah. But Hank Hyman, inspired by Wizard Hall, that is about a shaggy, platinum-haired boy who wears blue robes and a striped tie, going to wizard school, and it's just an utter disaster. His only skill is making messes, which is what he was an element of chaos and defensive magic. But that's where the vision of those characters, as I described them, it comes from the illustrations. in both those series that have been around since like the 70s, I think. Professor Nyx Abhorstier, who taught protective magic, was inspired by the Sabriel series by Garth Nix. That one I didn't think would be very common, but everything I described about this person was description of the main character.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. You didn't get to see a whole lot of him, except you only saw him at the very end. Professor Fletcher Ignatius Terran is inspired by The Summoner by Terran Matharu, who is about a wizard at a military academy who knows the art of summoning with demons. So I had him fighting demons with his wolf. That is another feature of that story. Professor Brea Gem, who taught divination, was inspired by A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray, who also wrote The Diviners. Yeah, that whole thing in that main character is about prophecy, clairvoyance, wearing illusions. And you're not going to get the references here, but I would like to point out that every vision that Paris and Anahit gave, I had to incorporate. I decided that was the case. So the reason why you guys had two male baddies at the end was because Anahit's tarot card said that the school started with 2 men. And then Paris and her vision saw the pipes under the school, and that's why it became the core of magic that was being spent throughout the whole school.
Cool.
So that was great. Because of Paris's vision.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Professor Alalia Kihani was inspired by Ember in the Ashes by Sabah Tahir, about a woman who went to witch who went to Blackcliff Academy to become a spy, and her things are all about telepath and lying and manipulation. So that's why I had her interrogate JJ. She did it in a nice way because she can't help it, and she's a good person. But the trouble with this thing is I couldn't make anyone the bad guy. Main other series that I wanted people to find interesting. One of my favorites, Professor Terry Esqueather, was by Terry Pratchett's Equal Rights, which is all about using mathematics and magical theory more than practice. So that's why I didn't want numerology for that, because it's all about theory. Yeah. Anyway, Professor Sackton Sanders, the guy who taught astronomy, who also drew a lot of chalk drawings on everything, was inspired by The Arithmetist by Brandon Sanderson, who was a magical person who only had one skill, and that was make chalk drawings that come to life.
You used the one Brandon Sanderson series I haven't read. My heart.
Well, so the professors were all not. If I named them Professor and not Mr. or Mix or Mrs., it's because their character in the main story went to a magical school.
Sure. No.
So that one had a magical school in it, and so that's why he became a professor.
You're right.
You guys never met Sir Simon, so I'm going to skip that. This was one of my absolute favorite characters, and it's a shame I think no one caught the illusions. Social studies was taught by Mr. Harrison Patrick O'Neill. You never asked his full name, you only got his initials. Because he was inspired by the Magical Misfits series, book from Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh my god.
He wore a tuxedo and he used a magic wand, like the traditional magic wand, because Neil Patrick Harris was the head of the Magic Castle, and his book is all about a stage magician style magic practicer going on misadventures with his friend. He was a non-magical character who was using traditional magic to make everyone think that he was a arcane person, not a mundane one. And Anahit fell for it, as did all of you. Yeah. Professor Roll Snow was taken by Carry On by Rainbow Roll. I had a hard time putting this character into a class because this person is just basically an LGBT. Like, the story is all about. It has a lot of Harry Potter like inspiration of a chosen one and a prophecy, as a lot of these stories actually do. But he was all about like LGBTQ acceptance and rights and place in the community. So I just had him be this force of acceptability and tolerance, and just like treating everyone like equals. It was a tough one. This is a great one. I hope everyone appreciates. Mrs. Solendra Penn Walton. Though the character's behavior was inspired by our good friend Annalisa, and her dragons were inspired by my pets, the notion of some dragons was based on this character. It's a book written by Joe Walton called Tooth and Claw that is basically Pride and Prejudice with dragons. Which is why they were named Mr. Darcy and Bingley.
Oh my god.
And then everything that she was describing about the Phoenix came from the themes of this book. And inheriting the pets and all things like that. It's all part of that story. Because it's basically Pride and Prejudice. The apprentice to Nicholas Flamel, who taught alchemy, Mix S.J. Newman, was inspired by The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel by Michael Scott. Not that Michael Scott and not that other Michael Scott. There's a lot of Michael Scotts. But it's obviously all about alchemy, so I made him the potioneering professor. And everything they said about their background making in California is because it takes place in San Francisco. Stuff like that. Professor, a lot of the characters just looked like their characters that I took from the book. So you didn't officially meet this person, but the Fiddler on the Roof was going to be a character who showed up at the end when you guys were like seeing what everyone was doing. This person was leading a prayer. They were inspired by Professor Rothfuss Temerant, was inspired by the King Killer Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss.
Yes. Oh my god.
Someone did mention Name of the Wind, which is why I'm bringing it, because I was like, well, now I have. And it pains me I didn't. I was going to shove him in right at the end, and I didn't do it. I apologize. Nurse Revis Nedra is taken by Give the Dark My Love by Beth Revis.
That's a great book title.
It is all about dark arts and necromancy, amputation, a lot of dark stuff. Basically, I described the main character as best as I could. But Professor Kelly E. Antari was by from the Shades of Magic by V.E. Schwab, which is all about a person who could travel between different parallel universes. One black, red, white, and gray, which is why he could study black magic, white magic, red magic, and gray magic. And everything I described about that character is me describing the main character. He's all about military stuff. Supreme Custodian Sarah Salas is by a character who just has a really crappy memory. They were not hexed. I just wanted to put that thing in there. Their backstory that I gave you, JJ, was the main character's backstory from Septimus Heap by Angie Sage, which is why she wore a sage-colored robe. Librarian Neil McKinnon is inspired by Neil Gaiman, who wrote a series for DC called The Books of Magic, in which a young, dark-haired kid with round glasses learned the perils of magic use and decided not to pursue it by people like John Constantine, which is why he wore a trench coat, and John. Charlie Nemo was from The Children of the Red King by Jenny Nemo, who is about a kid who was not endowed with magic ability outside if he could talk to portraits. In that series, no one could do it, but he could. And this, Isabella Condensa, the girl who was annoying you in numerology class, was from Woven in the Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez. We didn't get to talk to her much, but she...
No.
Juanita Darine, the girl who you were flirting with in numerology, was by the Young Wizards by Diane Duane. Kat and Christopher Cat Jones and Gwendolyn Wynne Jones, they were brother and sisters who are the main characters of Crestomancy by Diana Wynne Jones. But as hard as I tried, I couldn't get you to get to know them.
That's right. I refused.
They acted just like their characters, though. There was a girl who was sorted into Emerald, got to know Anahit because she was secretly a siren and could relate to Anahit, who was secretly a vampire. Based on A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. About a siren who was trying to find her place. You did not meet that one. Soren Mulhaven was by Fablehaven by Brandon Mole. Cadis Korzak is from a 1933 story called Ktek the Wizard. It's Polish by Janis Korzak, by a young troublemaker who teaches himself magic, goes to Hollywood to be famous, decides he doesn't like it, and is learning about not misusing his power. That's why he was the main troublemaker. Mm-hmm. You did not meet her. You did not meet her.
Well, I'm a one-up all of that with my one drop. The two characters that Alex named, Frisket and Enzo, were named after characters from his favorite TV show before he left for wizarding school, Reboot.
Oh my God, Reboot!
Knew it! It was Enzo! I knew it. Deep down. I felt it in my bones.
I am so proud of you. What a great show. Oh. Wow. That's the Reboot drop.
Great drop.
That's great.
Great drop. Ray Calejo Hernandez, who you met in class and got to be a really good friend to, JJ.
Yeah.
He's a character called Charlie Hernandez by Ryan Calejo, who is all about myth and has an encyclopedic knowledge of monsters and went through weird bodily changes when he came of age.
Cool.
Yeah, his buddy that he was referring to, Kawambe Anasi, was a character inspired by Tristan Strong from Kawambe Mabalia, who basically is a very, very similar character to Charlie Hernandez, which is why they got along so well. But, I forget how it actually related, so I'm going to skip ahead. Didn't meet them, didn't meet her, and that's a shame, because Children of the Blood and Bone was a reference I really wanted to drop. The boy who got to know Anahit and invited her to the lunar astronomy club was Arthur Linus Clune, inspired by The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Clune. And I swear Alex picked up on that reference.
No.
I thought you dropped something that was familiar. Well, so he's a guy who lives with all kinds of different gnomes, spirits, wyvern, blob. And this has nothing to do with the book I took it from. But I decided to make him, because he's familiar with all these weirdo characters, to make him a werewolf, and you definitely picked up on that.
I do remember that.
So, good job. I never got to tell the storyline, but if you guys wandered too far, you would have found the shack where the werewolves hang out when they need to turn once a month. And I kept stressing what day of the week it was, because depending on how the time worked out, eventually they were going to try to invite Anahit to there, and you'd have to save her. From the werewolves by accident.
That's cool.
I think 2 left. Katie, Libby O'Braid, the girl you got to know and sought divination tips with, was the Diviners character, the same woman who wrote the Bride Gem character. And that character is psychometric. She's able to gain secrets of the owner of an object, which is why she couldn't do what you were doing. But when she picked up your grandmother's mirror, she knew all the entire history of it. And that's what she was reacting. But that's where that character came from. And the last one, Ellie Stevaham, was from The Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Main character went to Ellingham Academy and was a true crime aficionado whose motto was knowing is a game, and was really good at riddles, pathways, and gardens, and that's why she was able to school.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and the character was from the 1920s, 30s, the era that this school was built in, so it only felt right that she was tied to it. And in case you were curious, Xander Sinclair murdered him in order to create his phylactery.
Yeah. The Bruxo? He murdered the guy who was the Bruxo?
To become a lich.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To become a lich, he murdered her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What a dick.
Yeah.
Wow, there was a lot of work you put into this world, man. Thank you for letting us play in it.
Yeah, I had fun.
Thank you. If anyone out there is still watching or watching in the future, I want to thank you all for sticking with me through this thing, for being great players, for being so creative, for making my job very, very, very difficult, but truly inspiring. I had a grand time running the story, and I'm so pleased that you did in the end too. I want to thank everyone who joined us on this coda to Broad Strokes operetta tribute to the Wizarding World. As we depart and say our final goodbyes to this franchise, we would like to thank and express our gratitude to everyone who spent all the time you spent with us, supporting us, allowing us to play in this magical sandbox that we all held dear. Thanks to our fandom, and this was kind of our like last lap around this franchise for you all, because thanks to you, Broad Strokes has 2 amazing short films that have been doing very well, 12 episodes of a radio drama podcast, and now the 60 hours we spent of this tabletop role-playing game, writing, directing, producing, and acting it out all at the exact same time. Broad Strokes absolutely loves you, but we have to go now. We have to find new things to make, play, and otherwise enjoy. We encourage you to do the same. Go make new things. Go tell new stories. I listed all of those stories because there is so much great young adult fantasy out there to pull from and be inspired by. And the further I kept digging, the more and more and more I wanted to incorporate, and I still didn't get to all. There's so much out there, and I encourage everyone to play in those sandboxes, to create their own, and to come back and tell us all about them. When we return, you can all find us right here, and we will see you then.
And it was a pleasure watching you guys.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.